Broadcasting live from Youngville, North Carolina and Ontario, Canada. This is Gotmead Live, a weekly show where Vicky Rowe and AJ Airmans bring you the mead news, meadery info, and mead making discussions from all over, talking with mead makers, mead owners, industry mavens, and influencers. This is Gotmead Live, a weekly podcast about mead and the people who love it and where the mead world is going. And now here are your hosts, Gotmead owner Vicky Rowe and mead and wine maker AJ Airmans.
Welcome to Gotmead Live from the den of the puppies of the apocalypse in northern Michigan, the Bunny Pen in Ottawa, Canada, the palatial retirement estate in Minnesota where there's currently no snow, and from sunny Mexico, it's Gotmead Live. Welcome to the show. I want to thank all the folks who have renewed or signed up for a patron membership over the last couple of weeks. You are appreciated. That's how we can afford to do this. So, because they, for some reason, want us to give them money for their services. Can't understand why. Anyway, if you're not already a patron, we hope you'll consider it. It's only $30 a year. You get access to the patron boards in the Gotmead Forum and our patron Facebook group, as well as the award-winning recipes contained therein. If you want to become a patron, you can go to gotmead.com/community and you can create a free account there if you don't already have one. And if you would like to become a patron, you can upgrade once you have an account. So again, thank you to those of you who have signed up or renewed. To listen to us live, you can catch us on YouTube, Twitch, X or Twitter, depending on how you think of it, and Facebook on the Gotmead page, as well as Instagram now. And chat is part of the podcast in our new platform. So chat away from wherever you're watching. We'll see it. And all the links for where we're broadcasting live are on the show page. But for Twitch, it's twitch.tv/meadwench. X is x.com/realgotmead. And facebook.com/Gotmead. Of course, our social media, as I said, is facebook.com/Gotmead. And our group is facebook.com/groups/Gotmead. On Twitter, we are, of course, at Real Gotmead. And if you want to send us comments, questions, ideas, criticisms, people you think we need to have on the show, you can go to Gotmead.com, put your mouse over, but do not click Gotmead Live Radio Show. Click on the drop down. And that'll let you send an email that goes to all of us. And we just got Nathan questions.
Oh, excellent.
Well, he's late today. We're going to have to give him
very
crap.
Late.
Yeah.
But still welcome.
Yeah.
Always.
I want to shout out to our lovely sponsors, Honeybrook Craft Meadery, calling all mead lovers and adventure seekers. Look no further than Honeybrook Craft Meadery for your go-to destination for wonderful, light, and refreshing mead. With a location in Castle Rock, Colorado, and the new Garden Cottage experience coming this spring to Littleton, Colorado. Go to Honeybrook, HONNI-brook.com to review the tap list, upcoming events, and to order online. They do use Vino Shipper and ship to most places in the country. Well worth it. Their meat is very good. And if Kevin gets back out to Colorado to visit his daughter, then maybe he can go by the new location and let us know what it's like.
I've actually seen the new location.
Ah, okay.
It's right across the street from the current location.
Oh, I didn't realize. Okay,
yeah.
Well, that makes it easy, doesn't it?
It does.
And our newest sponsor, the Honey Jar, is crafting excellent mead requires excellent honey. Luckily, the Honey Jar is here to help. Since 2005, the Honey Jar has been supplying delicious, pure, raw honey in easy-to-handle 12-pound pails to hobbyist brewers around the United States. Visit us at thehoneyjarhome.com/Gotmead. So, what are we drinking?
I should amend, too, that Honeybrook actually has a whole nother physical location in a different town that's just to the north of where they are today.
Oh, okay.
So that they have two distinct locations, but they just expanded the original, and the tap room has gotten bigger as a consequence. So that's so cool. What I was referring to.
At some point,
yeah,
I would
those guys
really
are going gangbusters.
They are.
They
yeah,
really
they make
are.
amazing mead too. So
yeah.
you know.
So yeah, well worth giving them a try.
Only
well,
seeing it. Okay,
talking,
somebody says we're only live on Twitch.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and say what you're drinking while I investigate.
All right. So while you're figuring that out,
Yeah.
tonight for me, it's a dry piment called Willick from Rachel Lipman of Low Vineyards in Maryland. I managed to save a little from a judging round for Valkyrie's Horn and kept it for tonight's show. Local wildflower honey and Riesling grapes are the foundation for this mead. As advertised, it's dry, and it's drier than the typical dry mead, which means it's really more like a dry white wine. This is a food-friendly wine first and foremost. The Riesling comes through nicely with a light floral aroma and a quiet honey aromatic that's just enough to let you know it's there. The flavor is a direct match to the aroma with a pleasing acidity that invites another sip. Whether you're drinking this with broiled chicken or a cheesecake dessert, it's a pairing worth trying.
Nice. Oh.
AJ, what are you doing? What are you drinking?
I have got the rest of that Odin's Skull that I started back when we were doing the judging show, and I'm just drinking it straight from the bottle because I'm a bore.
Well, it keeps the bunny off of it, I guess.
It keeps the bunny off of it because he's decided he likes mead. So yeah.
Okay.
Or things
Oh
bunnies
boy,
should
a
not
drunk
have.
bunny.
No, we're not allowed that. We're not having a drunk bunny. It will be too bad.
That sounds like a meme waiting to happen.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure it is.
How about you, Raul?
Well, so I went to the supermarket and found this coffee-infused beer. Apparently, it's from a Thailand brewery. Supposedly, it's a lager. It kind of tastes like an amber lager, but I can't feel the coffee. But it's like very, very subtle, not super strong. It's kind of okay. Yeah.
My daughter is in Thailand right now.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
On her honeymoon. I wonder
Oh,
if
nice.
run into that.
Well, I have to.
If they're big enough to export, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
She's there 6 or 8 months before Jackie gets there. That's where he's moving to.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, we should get an update about Jackie's progress, actually.
Yeah, we should probably get him back so that we can talk to him, since he's going to be taking his meadery basically out of the country, which is kind of cool.
Right.
But
so, Vicky, what are you
the whole
drinking?
operation to Thailand?
Yeah. I don't know how he's going to do it, but that's what he says he's going to do. Okay, so I had a stack of bottles sitting up on the counter like I usually do, and so I grabbed one, and I've got Crafted Artisan Meadery. They're in Mogadore, Ohio, and I've got their cinnamon bun, and it's hilarious because the label has got a picture of a guy with a man bun, and the bun is the cinnamon bun. So yeah, so he's got and he's like a total what are they, hipsters, I think. So he's got the plaid shirt and the axe over his shoulder, and then a bun on the back of his head. And
he's got to have a beard too, right?
Yeah, of course he does. Yeah, beard and mustache. Yeah, that's required. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's a lovely mead. I like pretty much everything I've had from Crafted Artisan has been great, but this one's is really drinkable. Nice cinnamon, but it's very gentle, and got that honey aroma in there, and then the flavor again, it's lightly sweet. The cinnamon's well integrated. I've had this bottle for a couple of years, so it's kind of merged in some, but it's just really nice. It's toasty. So it's just soft, it's spicy, it's got a nice long flavor, and I'm gonna have to shut down X. Apparently, it's trying to talk. I can hear this voice in the back of my head, and I'm like, God. So yeah, it's really wonderful. It's a real easy drinker. It's it's nice mead. I really like it. I highly recommend it. For anybody who wants to get it, they do ship, shipper, and it's craftedmead.com.
How about you, Rob?
Well, I wasn't going to be drinking anything, but I knuckled under.
Peer pressure is terrible.
Peer pressure. So while y'all were all doing that, I slipped away from my headphones and poured a little bit of one of my mad scientist experiments.
Nice.
It's I'm in the middle of my lair right now, so it is I talked to you about this one earlier, Vicky, the other day. It is a bourbon soaked pecan praline mead.
Ooh, that's
I've already
So-
pushed him to add chocolate to that.
It
so.
is, and I'm next time I do it, I'll try that. Maybe I'll do a side by side. It's I soaked pecans in Buffalo Trace bourbon to infuse the bourbon, so it's a fortified mead because I added the bourbon for the flavor. But it's got the honey. I forget what honey I used on it. Even I wrote it down somewhere. Just a wildflower, I think. But then I added some vanilla, back sweetened it with some brown sugar, and then added the bourbon pecan bourbon to taste to get it up to the level. I was shooting for a pecan pie, and it ended up tasting more like pecan pralines. So it's it's definitely a dessert mead. It's sweet, and you're not gonna drink a lot of it, or you will meet the floor. But
I do like the floor, so.
yeah, but it is quite tasty. I'm definitely going to do this one again.
Very
And the
cool.
best part was once I got done with the pecans, I cooked them to dry them out a little bit and then candied them.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, why waste them, right? That's what I when I
sure.
make ginger, when I make like ginger cordials, so the ginger's been soaking in alcohol for a month and a half. I pull the ginger out, bag it, and stick it in the freezer, and it's going into ice cream and milkshake.
Yeah, it's like I was
Yeah.
I was literally on the verge. I had the garbage can open. I was about to throw
God,
the
no,
pecans
yeah.
in,
No.
and I was about to dump them in. I'm like, what am I doing?
Surprised Jeanette didn't pop you one, yeah.
Oh, well, she would have, because oh boy, they were good.
Yeah, I bet.
So did you cook the brown sugar at all, or did you just toss it in?
No, I just threw it in.
Okay.
I was
'Cause
just
like pralines, I mean, the brown sugar in a praline is typically, caramelized some more, right? So it gets a little bit-
Actually, I think I might have pochade the honey a little bit.
Okay.
Like I said, I wrote it all down, but I'll make it 2 or 3 more times before it's actually a recipe.
And then it'll end up in one of the books
Maybe.
eventually.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, things I threw together in my basement.
Yeah. Hey, no, it could just be like Rob Ratliff, mad mead scientist.
Rob Ratliff. I brewed what?
I like that.
What did I put in this again?
I brewed what? And you can have that look on your face. Oh God, that would be funny.
I just look puzzled.
Yeah. So for those of you who may not know, and if you don't by now, then you've been sleeping. You need to wake up and get with the program. Rob's been making mead for a long time. He's been, since 2006, and I've known Rob almost that long. And in fact, I think I have known you that long when you were the Sandman over on.
I was.
Because you were in Iraq, weren't you?
I was in Kuwait at that time.
Kuwait,
I was in
yeah,
Iraq
okay.
prior to that. But you recommended Ken's book.
I did, yeah. And and he makes really great meads. He's won medals with these meads, and he's written 3 books of mead recipes. So the books are, if you don't have them, you should check, and there are links on the episode page if you don't feel like looking them up on Amazon. But the first one that I had the distinct honor of being able to edit was the Big Book of Mead Recipes. Second one is Let There Be Melomels, and the third one is Let There Be Session Meads. So, and these are all tested mead recipes. So Rob's made these meads. They wouldn't have ended up in there otherwise.
Yeah, my liver doesn't thank me, but I sure do.
Yeah, and I have to tell you that because Rob wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't, so... Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying the chai hulud.
Yeah, that was another one I wanted to make. I had so many good chai meads that I just wanted to make my own and develop my own chai recipe blend.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So Rob, when you're making these recipes for the book, obviously you're probably doing it multiple times, so you feel like you have it down pretty good.
Yeah.
Are you doing 1 gallon batches, 5 gallon batches? How are you managing that?
Oh, recipe development is always I used to do 1 gallon batches, and all the time I spent overseas, I got used to 5 liter batches because it was easier to get 5 liter carbohydrates. So it's just a little bit bigger.
Yeah, 5 liter, 1 gallon.
5 liter batches is what I primarily do. You're not committing 5 gallons worth of investment.
Right. Not to mention the fact that you now have to drink it.
Honey
or,
ain't cheap.
yeah, give it away or something. Yes.
Yeah. And
That's kind of my problem right now. Is I mostly make 5-gallon batches, so
yeah,
I'm
I've got.
buried in mead.
I mean, I say that, but I'm sitting here looking at 2 5-gallon carboys, 2 6-gallon carboys, and a 7-gallon carboy, and a 3-gallon carboy that are all full.
Mhm.
And one of them is a sizer that I let the spices on too long, so it's in its 3rd year.
It'll mellow
I
out
played that
eventually.
game.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, we've all played that.
We've all
game.
been there. Yeah. So we
Don't
had a
feel
guy
bad
on-
because that's my cellar right now.
Oh,
times
sure.
5.
I told him about it. He and I were talking on the phone yesterday, and I was like, "You should see Kevin's." I
Yeah,
said, "You have to like exhale so that you can get."
It's a little out of control. Yeah, I know. My wife, however, is I'm so blessed. She's so tolerant. I can't imagine
so
anyone else that I was dating along the way that would have put up with what I'm doing these days. No,
Yeah.
not a chance. So
Well, I've got turning around. I've got about 20 5-liter carboys that are full of different things. Some just traditionals to try out different honeys, and some of them are like Vicky said, my chai hulud.
mhm.
I love that name. I mean, honestly, you could put dirt in it, and I drink it just for the name. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly.
Well, I've got the straight one and then the sizer base that I did both of them. They're both chai hulud to me, but the one that is the best one will be the one that keeps the name.
Oh, and they're asking.
Of
Okay,
course.
so I think that's Rob Barnhart. Is Barnburner Rob Barnhart?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. I hate that I don't know who they all are on
I know.
Twitch
Please
yet.
put your own names in there. So
Yeah,
we
well,
can tell
no,
who
it's
it
just that
is.
I don't know their names on Twitch yet. But he
Right,
says, "Is the
exactly.
chai hulud blue like the water of life?" I said, that's not a bad idea, Rob.
Right.
You can throw
Somebody's a Dune fan,
some.
obviously.
Yeah, right. Yeah, obviously. You can
Yeah,
throw some
all homage to
butterfly
Frank
pea
Herbert,
blossom.
but
Yeah, you
Yes,
can throw some
right,
butterfly
right.
pea blossom in there, and then you'd have chai hulud, the water of life.
I love it.
Oh yeah.
I guess I could blue it out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So all you got to do is pea flour, right?
I don't play with that stuff.
But that would do it.
Yeah, butterfly pea blossom.
Would
It
that-
adds a
would that
earthy
turn it-
note.
Would it turn
and
it
that would-
blue?
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it would
If you
turn it
get the
blue.
pH right, it'll
Yeah.
turn blue.
And it adds this kind of an earthy note, and that would work great in the sizer one if you think about it.
It might.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, lab, stop growling.
Maybe I will.
If y'all hear just saying, if y'all hear barking, it's just me and the pups tonight because John's out of town. So I will try to mute before they bark, but you never know.
Yep, I always, whenever I think of that one, I always remember just watching the movie where they're all like, chai hulud.
Yeah,
It always sounded like chai to me. So.
it did. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I like the idea. And all right, so I got to ask you, how many meads come about because you think of a name first?
That was
Oh.
Sergio. Sergio does that.
yeah.
He'd come up with
I
the
do
name
that.
and work it
I
backwards.
do that too.
Absolutely. I got a
That's a
long
great
list of
question.
names, and I'm like, oh, that's such a great name.
What is it made out of? Yeah.
Right.
That is a great question, and the answer in my case is 2.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, really, it's 2. Chai hulud and my pecan praline,
Okay.
which I was going to call that pecan pie, but it just doesn't. It's more praline
Okay.
than pecan pie.
Yeah.
Wow. Now I'm
Yeah,
slightly disappointed.
I haven't ever done that. Yeah, that's a great question, and I'll bet there's a lot out there that do that. But no,
Mhm.
I would imagine so. Yeah. I tend to come up with the recipes and not the name first. I'm just not that good at the names anyway. So.
my mead names are like hyphen this, hyphen that, hyphen that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a spreadsheet of recipe ideas. Oh my God, I'll never.
I
get
was
through it.
at
It's got
I
like
was at the
350 different freaking ideas.
Oh, I know. Me too. I'm absolutely.
To-do list, yeah.
I was at the KCBM 42nd annual competition over the past few days, and they had a special award for the best name. And not that they're the only one that does it, but most competitions don't do it. I think that's just terrific fun.
Yeah,
So,
there are a few that do it. I think Mazer's done it a few times, and I don't think it's a regular thing though. And I think you guys have done it once or twice too, haven't you?
yeah, I think we did it once or twice early on. We haven't done it since.
Yeah.
Happy Halloween does it. There are a few others, but I think it's just kind of fun because when people actually know there's an award for it, they start getting creative instead of just sizer.
Well, Chai Hulud is mine.
Well, that's the other part. Once it's out there, it's pretty hard to protect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. But yeah, now Rob's retired, so he's got, he can garden and make mead and
14 months.
And how's that working out for you?
Not bored yet.
And like other people who are retired, the question is, are you as busy as you were before you were retired?
No, I'm not.
No?
No,
Okay.
I mean, a lot of I like to read a lot, always have. So I spend a lot of time just sitting reading in my backyard.
Fair.
And that's a good day.
Yeah.
So
Same. That's part of my problem is I'll sit and read all day long when I've got stuff I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I can't. Well, that's the weird part. I can't spend it sitting in my recliner reading all day because then I feel like I just sat there in a recliner and wasted my day. So if I come out here and sit in my lab which is what I call my casita, I'll sit in my casita with my feet kicked up on my desk. Well, I did that a lot when I was working remotely, so it's like a regular day.
Okay.
Or I'll go sit out on the patio or something. Or I'll go sit in the living room instead of the family room. As long as I'm sitting in my recliner, it's productive.
Productivity is overrated.
That makes a strange kind of sense, and unfortunately, it's not something that's available to me for a couple months now.
Yeah, but there's that, and then I still game online with some buddies. Actually, a buddy that lives in Ohio. I play Star Citizen with him quite a bit.
Okay.
And then World War Z or whatever games for trip our fancy. I met him when I was in Kuwait. He was there when I made my first batch.
Oh, yeah. Weren't you using like honey packets and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that because we were joking about it.
I scavenged honey packets from the dining facility for a couple weeks.
I even see the guys at the DFAT going, do you know what happened to that box of honey that was over there the other day?
Yeah, made it in my wall locker. Yep. And I broke it out.
Turn out?
It was Ancient Orange. I actually went into Kuwait City and bought a big glass jug of vinegar and washed it out like 35 times and made it in my Foot Locker. My airlock was a little bit prophylactic looking.
Well, one does what one has to do,
Yeah.
And
I had a friend that made Welch's wine, and I had a buddy that tried to re-ferment non-alcoholic beer. Spoiler alert: don't try to re-ferment non-alcoholic beer.
Oh god.
But it was okay. Let me try this, and that honestly, that was what got me interested in homebrewing. Was my buddy that made Welch's wine.
Mm-hmm.
And he just used a 5-gallon plastic water jug. And I was like, okay, well that could be interesting, but everybody makes, it's like, well, it's been done to death. Everybody makes wine, and I'm an old D&D geek, so I'm going to make mead. That's how I found Vicky. That's how I found Vicky, because I found her website.
He found me. Rob Barnhart is asking, where were you in Kuwait? He said he's Army too. He spent 10 months at Camp Virginia.
I started at Camp Virginia on my way to Iraq. In 2003. And when I went back in 2006 as a contractor, I was at Camp Navistar right on the border. But I also spent some time at Camp Buehring and Camp Arifjan and Ali El Salim and all of those other ones, but I was based out of those two. In Iraq, I was in Tikrit.
Okay.
But yeah.
You got dogs jumping.
I have a quick question about Kuwait. Aren't they dry?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Technically, yes. You can't buy alcohol there. You can't transport alcohol there, but you can have it in your house.
So how did it get there?
Well,
Magic.
Teleportation.
I'm not going to say they're a bunch of hypocrites over there, but
Okay.
There's observant and then
case-
there's non-observant, I guess.
Fair enough.
in my case, it was kind of, we had one person actually got in trouble for that. So
Oh, neat.
I didn't know him, but it was somebody who worked for the same company I did.
I would think as long as you don't flaunt it, you'd be okay. You know?
Yeah, I mean that's like anywhere else.
Yeah.
But the what was I going to say?
We're in Kuwait. It's dry. They can't have it at home, or
Yeah, I mean, not to get political about it or anything. I was just kind of curious because that's what I thought I remembered.
Big thing with, I mean, I didn't do anything when I was there.
I was wondering the same.
When I was in Iraq in the army, no way, no how. Well, I'm not going to say that either. I did get a bottle of whiskey smuggled to me. That was for trading purposes.
The army folk in the chat are all going, and interesting how a lot of us military folks make booze. And he says, OIF, OEF, 0308 USMC. So we got a Marine on there too. Sorry. I didn't mean, say military. Okay, but you're a Marine, not a soldier. So, yeah.
Right.
Well, it's like throw a water bottle full of jungle juice up on the camo netting and leave it there for a week or two. You'll get.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Right. Oh baby.
I mean, what?
Yeah. No, me? No, I wouldn't have done that.
Absolutely never.
Who
would do that?
The thing with Kuwait was I was technically under General Order Number 1, which is like no alcohol, but I wasn't in the army at the time, so the worst thing could have happened to me is that I got fired.
Oh, you were a contractor at that point.
Yeah, in Kuwait I was a contractor, so I mean I would have got fired, and at the point that I started that batch, I was like 3 months from leaving, so it took 2 months for it to get done. So I didn't tell anybody I was making it, and
right.
And it was done. I siphoned it into little half-liter water bottles and got a couple buddies, and we had a cookout, and I broke these out, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't know you were doing this. Where did you get this?" Like, hey man, if two people know a secret, it ain't a secret no more.
I just had this mental image of you sitting there with a jar between your knees and squeezing out little packages of honey. It's just like, okay, that's 1, 10, 327, 400.
Dude, it took a while. I mean, those things were like an ounce. So, yeah.
Because there's like, a spoonful of honey in each of those things.
Yeah, me and this basket full of frickin' honey packets and a pair of scissors. It took a while.
I love these guys. Okay, so now all your military chums here are we got AJ, who's Stronghold?
I'm not sure who Stronghold is, but they say never ever bury a jerry can and run a blow off tube out of it to control temperature.
There you go.
Yeah, I can see where that might be a problem.
Carlos
is on. Hey, Carlos.
There's two big things about military people and booze. One is if we can't buy it, we'll find a way to make it. And the other one is we ain't right in the head. We'll get creative.
Well, you got to do something,
AKA honey packets.
Because it's like, what do they say?
Necessity is the mother of invention.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And boredom is the mother of. Wonder what'll happen if I try this.
You can't argue that.
90% of deployments are boredom.
Well, yeah, what is it? It's like long stretches of boredom punctuated by brief periods of abject terror.
Yeah, that sums up Iraq in a nutshell.
Okay. Stronghold Mead is American Stronghold Meadery. Okay, cool.
Is this a real meadery? Is my next question. I'm going to go check.
Yeah, I know, right? I've heard the name, but I haven't visited.
Really? I have not. So.
Yeah, well, I'm out there looking at mead names a lot more than you. So.
Yep.
Yeah, once I get caught up in all my chores, I'm gonna be.
Keep the Mead wiki updated.
Yeah, exactly right. I gotta get the. Well, I've got. I actually have Mead. I've got meadwiki.com.
Oh, really?
I would love to do a Mead wiki, and I just didn't have. I don't have the time.
So that would be such a lot of work.
Yeah, right. That's why it's not done yet.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you kind of have it at Gotmead already.
Well, yeah, in a way, but this was the idea that came from Manny. Manny was like, "We need a wiki," And I was like, okie dokie. So I bought it, and then Manny got busy because he was going to be the one. He was going to build it out, and then he got busy, and I was busy, and yeah.
Now he's moving to Spain.
Yeah. Oh, is it for real then?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I know he's talking about it. So kids are growing. So give me an excuse to go to Spain.
Hell yeah. I mean, copper right now, you know?
Yeah. No, the meadery is a meadery, and I just don't know where they are, though. Doesn't say.
Yeah,
Fully
I'm looking right
operational,
now.
New
Let's
York
see.
based.
Okay, so Stronghold Meadery, where y'all located? Oh, New York. Fully
New York,
operational, commercial, New York based. Awesome sauce. Cool. Next time I come up that way, then I'll check in with you guys if you're going to be anywhere near where I'm going.
But you don't tell us where you are on your website. That's odd.
I know. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to
They
slap
make
you on the hand.
references to New York.
Stronghold me going to slap you on the hand. You
Oi.
know. Put in there so we know where the heck you are.
Pretty basic. Okay.
All right,
Looks
back
good.
to things.
It says it in multiple locations.
Yeah, but you got to like actually read.
Oh, what was you? Read. God damn it, people.
Yeah, right. Oh, Rob's Manny Mead's almost ready. Yeah, we gotta get those collected so that we can bring Manny
man.
back on and do the Manny Meads.
Have
For
we
those of
dropped the
you-
ball on that or what?
Well, we have, because a lot of people just never quite got to doing it, and they're
I
finally.
know
getting
it's
to
not
doing
really
it,
our fault, but
Yeah,
we also share some of the blame.
yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And but we'll get Manny on. And for those of you who may not be aware, Manny gave black mangrove honey to several people, and what is it, Carlos? And so we gave those people, so they had to make the mead, send us a bottle so that we could check it out, and then we'd bring them and Manny on, and we'd talk about the mead, so and we're finally getting it. Well, the people that have the honey are finally getting it done. Carlos just says, when's the Texas trip? They just built an RV park half a mile from the meadery. Oh God, Carlos, please. I don't know, not yet. I'll talk to my husband. Okay.
Where are you seeing that? I'm not seeing it.
It's in the chat.
I see it.
Oh, because it doesn't automatically scroll. My bad.
No,
yeah.
you got to scroll it up. It
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
scroll
Oh,
itself.
that's
Yeah.
annoying.
Right there.
Yeah, hopefully
Yeah.
I will drop a line to the tech support people and say, y'all need to make that thing scroll on its own.
Yeah, no
Yep.
kidding.
But yeah, it's
Okay, so back to Carlos here real quick. So if Tracy, if you guys
Tracy.
ever manage to get your competition going again, that would be the
they will
time to
have
do it.
they've already got it. It's already scheduled out. That's what Tracy's been leaning on me to come down. So
Okay.
yeah,
Where in
and
Texas
seeing
is
as
it
I
happening?
lured her up to Minnesota, it looks like I'm not going to have much of a choice in the matter. So
Right.
yeah. The only question is now is whether I fly down or if we take the RV. And if we take the RV, I'll have to lure John into going. So
Where in Texas is it?
Swing by Minneapolis and pick me
well,
up.
Tracy's in South. Yeah, right. Tracy's in South Central Texas, and I
It's
think
kind of near Houston, I thought.
yeah, like a couple hours from there. And I mean, everything in Texas
she's
is
going to
big.
tell us here in a second, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, you could fly over here and then we could drive over there. Easy.
Right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, hey, no, you were supposed to be coming up for Valks, dude. Just saying.
I mean, I'm broke.
I know.
That's why I never go anywhere.
I hear you. I'm in the
It's
same
a
boat.
legit excuse.
The only reason I'm getting away with Valks is because I'm driving and my Jeep gets pretty good gas mileage. So
Hell yeah.
yeah. But let's get back to poor Rob, who we've left hanging out
Yeah.
there at the end. Yeah.
Sidetrack,
just listening.
sidetrack. That never happens.
No.
It's all good. You know me, I talk a lot and then I shut up a lot.
Oh yeah. Tracy's close to Houston. Yeah. So that's what she's saying. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, all I can say is it's always so much fun to get together with people to share. You learn, you enjoy, you have a good time. I mean, that's the best part of life, is getting together with people and having a good time.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And it's funny because I can go, like weeks without really seeing much of anybody except the people I see in the grocery store or whatever. And then, I'm super excited to when I get to go, hey, I'm, going up to Minnesota and I get to see all these people that I haven't seen in ages. And,
Mhm.
a lot of you guys I never see except at the comps. So,
Right.
Mhm.
It's a
Or
great
the-
opportunity.
yeah. Speaking of which, we'll have to see how many we can lure down to Indiana for Sugar Belt. And no, we're not going to stay at that place we stayed at before.
Oh my goodness. I still have a scar.
I know.
Jeez.
I still have nightmares once in a while.
I need to get a schedule of these comps.
You need a
Yeah.
schedule?
Yeah.
Well, the simplest way to do that is to go to the American Homebrewers Association and just put in a search for registered competitions. It'll take you to the BJCP registration, and anybody who has registered a competition will be there.
Cool.
And we're talking hundreds of competitions.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, most of them are going to be beer. Some will have beer, mead, cider. And then there's, a handful of mead only competitions. There's not a whole lot of them, but there's about 8, I think, around the country.
Yeah,
So-
well, there's Domrus, there's Valks, there's Mead Free or Die died.
Yeah, that died.
There's Michigan,
Valhalla,
Valhalla,
Michigan Mead Cup,
Michigan Mead Cup.
the St. Louis one that
St.
just started
Louis.
last year is new,
Yeah.
and then Orpheus,
Orpheus, that's 6.
which is kind of an oddball competition in some ways.
Yeah,
I'd like to
state
hit up
fairs.
Michigan Mead Cup. That'd be a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
that's a
and
good
then
one.
Rob, that's only like 4 or 5 hours for me. You come up, stay here, and we'll just go.
Right?
Yeah. Well, I've still
Michigan Mead
I've still
Cup is a one day.
I've got family that lives in Dexter still.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you still got Ken up there.
Yeah, it's a one day competition. So you come on up and do some other stuff and then hit them for a day.
Mm-hmm.
That's one on my list. I haven't been able to get to yet, but
It's a
hopefully
nice
this-
comp.
Hopefully
I
this
went-
year I'll be able to make
Yeah.
it.
When
No,
is
I
that
have no
one?
excuse not to go now because it's so close.
Is that a springtime thing?
No, it's
No,
in the fall.
It's in the fall. Yeah,
fall?
it's like
Okay.
September, and then there's the internationals. So there's EMMA, which is at the beginning of March, and Copa Idromel, which was what was that, November?
September.
Raoul? September.
September.
Yeah, it's mid September, and now I guess there's another EMMA is spinning off a comp into Mexico. That's going to be where'd they say it was going to be? I think it's over on the other side of the country.
Oh, the next year one? Or I mean, this year, I guess.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, Copa Idromel, as far as I know, is still going to be in CDMX, but
I mean, they
wait.
said they wanted to make it in Merida, Yucatan.
I remember. Well, that was what they were talking about, but last I heard, that wasn't happening. So I don't know.
Oh,
I haven't
okay.
talked
mean,
to. I haven't talked to.
They, you know how they are.
Oh, yeah, I do.
I've heard conflicting ideas, so
Yeah.
no idea.
Yeah. Well, and Freddie's not on the board anymore, so he was my
Ah,
Yeah.
he was your guy.
yeah, he was my guy. So he's doing something else now. But
I see.
oh, and
Well,
Tracy
I mean,
says
if I hear something, I'll let you know.
Yeah, do please. Tracy says they're working on the Texas Mead Cup, and they'll be updating soon. So,
Oh hell yeah!
so yeah, there's like 8 or 9 decent sized mead only comps.
I'll have to
And
do
then a
all
whole
those
crap
someday.
load of comps that have mead as a category and have
There's one other we
subcategories.
forgot to mention.
Oh, which one do we miss?
The one in Oklahoma.
Oh yeah,
Mead Stampede.
Mead Stampede. Yeah.
It's fairly big now. It's a beginner friendly mead competition. So, for a lot of the new folks who are interested in, hey, I need a recipe for this. Rob, can you give me one? That's a good one to enter. If you're getting started, they do a pretty good job. It's fairly big. I want to say they had like 220 entries or something like that last year, if I remember right. I'm not sure. I'd have to go look. But yeah, so that's another option. That one is right around July 4th, which is a slight drawback because July is kind of a rough time to be sending mead anywhere in the country. But
Mhm.
other than that, and then of course you have all the family competition for 4th of July. So there's that. But yeah, that's a good option.
Looks like Michigan Mead Cup might be in July. Is that what they said in the chat?
Well, yeah, that's what Rob is saying. And I know they were talking about moving their date, but I hadn't heard a final, so I don't know.
I'll find out. I might be on a cruise.
Well, anyway, yeah.
If I'm
it's fun to get
available, I
together
might
at those
I
things.
might happen to show up to that.
Yeah.
I might be in Europe. I'm not. I got to check my calendar. Retirement
Yeah,
thing.
it's a lot of fun to to meet people at these kind of events when all you've ever done is exchange notes with them through the internet or had some sort of a Zoom call or something like this. It's fun to meet people face to face, I think.
Oh yeah. Well, I still remember the first time I met Vicky
Mm-hmm.
and Ken and Pete.
I'm a little afraid to ask. Oh, in what way?
Oh,
The Mazer.
I was walking into
Oh.
Mazer and she was out front pacing back and forth on the phone talking to somebody,
Mm.
and I was just happened to be walking by when she got off the phone, and her tone of her voice, I think I had talked to her before then on the phone, and I was just like, Vicky. It's like, she looked at me like I was some weirdo. She goes, yes.
I'm kind of used to that at this point because a lot of people all they know of me is what they've heard me. They've never met me. They don't see me. So if we ever go to video, here, then it'll be different. But
well, you actually, I think you said I might have might have been a little imposing too. I'm 6'4", and Vicky says I'm a big guy. It's like, yeah,
he is a big guy. Yeah, he's taller than my
Vicky is
husband.
not 6'4".
No, I am.
Rob is.
Vicky is very definitely not 6'4".
No, absolutely not. No.
So
Well,
anything's
you've met
imposing
me.
when
Am
you're
I
small.
imposing?
Yeah, you can be. I've never seen you mad, so you don't scare me because my husband's big like you, but
Yeah, John's bigger than me.
Oh
Or
yeah,
at least as big as me.
yeah. I think you're a little taller than he is, but
I don't know.
God, dogs, they're jumping up and down on my lap here, and they're all So let's talk about the recipe books a little bit. Trace.
There's a lot of them out there.
Yeah, I know, right? There's 3 of them. Well, I wanted to pull a recipe out of them, and then I realized that I don't know where my copies of your books are. They're all in boxes somewhere. I have them all, but
My first one, the first one actually was a dare.
It was.
My son dared me to write it.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then he comes to me, and he's like, "Can you help me edit this thing? Because I've been like, I'm crossing eyes here. I can't even."
Yeah. Oh yeah. You read your own stuff. You're your own worst editor. It's like,
Oh,
man,
yeah.
I'm gonna miss everything in here. And then I did anyway.
Yeah. Well, you got to.
The first run, the first run, the table of contents was all messed up and everything. Oh my God! Collector's item. Yeah, that's what it is. It's
Well, let me ask you, put you on the spot. Do you have a favorite recipe?
Oh, shush.
I really don't. I always thought as I got further along in this, I would eventually settle down and be like 2 or 3 different, standards that I made every year and everything. And it's like, maybe I'm just not wired that way or something, because I am constantly thinking, well, I can tweak this a little bit. It's like,
Yeah.
I just can't quit fiddling with stuff. Even when I try to make them the same the second time. I made my Christmas cranberry 4 times, didn't make it the same way once.
But the concept is similar, obviously.
Yeah. But it's
Right.
just like, the first time I soaked it on the blanched cranberries. The second time I soaked them in Everclear. Boy, that was a mistake. Woo!
How did that one turn out?
Oh boy, I think I've still got some of that laying around, and that's old now.
Okay, are you waiting for it to get good, or?
Oh no, it was good.
Okay. Okay.
Oh boy.
Well, because you see a lot of that wonderful internet advice that everybody should heed or not.
Yeah.
You have to let it sit for 3 years to be good because it's so
I grind my teeth and scroll on by.
Oh, I know.
One of those because I just can't anymore.
I know.
The only reason I'm letting my
engaging
sizer
crap.
sit over here
Right.
for so many years is because it's flawed, and I'm waiting for the flaws to error out.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are some things
And
like
sometimes
that
they do
age out. Yeah, I
Yeah,
would
a
say
little bit.
I had one that was overspiced and 3 years of sitting, and it was perfect.
Yeah.
but before that, it was undrinkable.
Right.
Yep.
Yep, and I've got one that's going on a decade of being too bitter from the tannins from the high bush cranberries.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Really
I
neat
had
taste.
one I made that was just not great. It wasn't undrinkable, but it was bad. And I didn't want to. I had 5 gallons of it, and I didn't want to throw it out. It was. I think it was. It was. I over oaked it. I was using oak. I was brand new to using oak cubes, and I threw too much oak in it. And it was just like, oh my god, it's like drinking a tree. So
Chateau plywood.
Chateau plywood. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I remember I threw about 10 pounds of blueberries into it, let them sit for a month or two, and then just put it away.
Yep.
That's the nice thing though, is oak does age out.
And
Yeah. I had.
that's I can never recreate it because it
No.
was a recovered screw up. And
Yeah.
that's my favorite mead, but my
I
wife
know.
says it's my wife's favorite mead I've ever made.
My
my
strawberry
oak
orange
blueberry.
mead was, and I had an orange blossom traditional that fizzled, and I could not get it to restart, so it was far too sweet. It was cloying. And then the strawberry, for whatever reason, the yeast decided to. The temperatures jumped. North Carolina, we went from like 40 in the morning to 90 by the end of the day, and
That'll do it.
and I didn't have the air turned on, and so the mead just went zzz and burned right down to dry. And you can't, strawberry flat dry just does not work. So I'm like, crap. So I've got like 5 gallons of this and 5 gallons of that. I'm like, what am I gonna do? Oh, hell with it. I'll mix them together. Best mead I ever had.
Oh yeah.
Best mead
Blending is
I
a
made,
beautiful thing.
Yeah, and blending worked out perfectly, but I could never duplicate it,
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
So
I
think
think I've probably got a bottle of that laying around somewhere.
that's worth discussing in more depth. I think just the blending thing. We should probably just do a show on blending.
We should, yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
I know, like for me, I hadn't been doing this, but over the last 6 months, I started making meads at opposite ends of the spectrum, specifically for the purpose of having it available to blend into something else when I want it.
Yeah, that's
It
fair.
gives you a lot of control, and that's a really valuable thing, when you're trying to hit a specific flavor profile.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and I
Probably
know
also helps
like
when you're not
Rob was-
aiming for a specific flavor profile, but trying to salvage something that didn't work out the way you intended.
Yeah, I
Right.
suppose that's true too.
That's the good part
yeah.
of the blending.
So
Mhm.
for those of the folks that are out there, I mean, I think it's well worth make a one, if you're doing 1 gallon batches, make one big sweet mead with the honey that you like. Make a dry mead with the same honey, and
Mhm.
just put them aside, and you've got it available when you need to dry something out, or if it got too hot. Make a session mead. Make an alcoholic one that you can blend into something that's not quite where you need it to be. It's a great tool.
Mm.
Yeah, in my early days, I actually made a bunch of different batches of generic stuff just to add for when I was topping off my carboys when they were low after racking.
Right.
Yeah.
I've done that too.
Actually, that's another good idea. Yeah.
Because
Well
I see
worth
a lot of
mentioning.
people saying, okay, well, now I've racked off the fruit, say, and
Right.
then you've got this, volume that you lose. And so now all of a sudden you're racking into another pail and there's 6 inches of airspace at the top. Now what? Well, if you've got that spare mead sitting there,
Yep.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, especially if it's at the same ABV, so you're not doing a
Mhm.
lot of dilution
Yeah.
or increasing the ABV. I mean, all good things to think about.
Yeah, although for fruit meads, I tend to overestimate how much I need, so that by the time I'm done with the losses from the fruit, that I've got enough to fill a carboy.
But your experience, so you
Yeah.
know to expect that for somebody who's starting out.
Exactly.
Especially, like for somebody who's buying a book of recipes like Rob's got available, you don't have that knowledge or experience at this point. So
Yeah.
being able to make a few of those things to have available for those troubleshooting spots, really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a comment, Rob Barnhart.
Marbles.
Marbles.
Marbles
I
are
did
great.
that once, and then I'm like, never, ever again.
I did that once. Once.
I fell for the internet wisdom bit, and nope, never ever again.
Lava rocks.
It's a pain. You cannot clean them well enough. The risk of sanitary problems is huge. No, it's not worth it.
Right.
If you're
I've
going
So
had-
you need to
had
use
that.
like
use some
aquarium grade
stainless.
marbles anyways, because you never know
Right.
what the heck they put in them.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just it's dumb.
To
I
say,
wish
I'm
that-
getting kind of lazy in my old age anyway, as far as fruit goes. I'm using a lot more concentrated juice.
Yeah, I get that.
Mm-hmm.
hey, nothing
It's like-
wrong with using. I mean, I like all juice meads. I very often when I'm making a melomel, I'll start with juice instead of water, and I mean, it's just as good.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
if
well-
I don't really like the tannins anyway. They give me heartburn, and if I want a little more acid, well, they make that. I
You can always adjust for that. Yeah.
Yeah, you can adjust for that. It's like that's like I haven't written any recipes like that really. Going, oh, add 2 teaspoons of this concentrated sour cherry juice, but I know how much is in a pound. So I still
Right.
write stuff up in pounds of fruit. I just don't always use fruit.
I
It takes
actually
up a lot
do
less
use.
volume, and there's no waste.
I actually do use grape juice concentrate, but only in my pear wine.
So you're
'Cause
using
pear needs something.
a generic white grape juice?
Yeah, or if I just use like the wine concentrate from a white wine kit or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Or
all.
raisins. I've used raisins before too, but they're not for nutrients.
I knew somebody would mention that.
What? Not for nutrients?
Oh,
What do
Raul
you
doesn't
mean by
know.
No, I
Hey, it's
I know.
they do things different down in Mexico, right?
Oh,
Right.
don't tell me about it.
You know what
At
though?
some
point,
Raisins are
somebody
great
thought-
for flavor and body.
At some point,
Right.
somebody thought that since grapes are a complete food for yeast and you don't necessarily need to add anything, that raisins were the equivalent to yeast nutrients. It has been proven many, many times that they are in fact not.
No, I know. I
But-
am aware. I was
but,
being
yeah.
sarcastic.
Yeah, I know you were.
But yeah,
Well, now that is an interesting contrast between the original grape and a raisin, right?
Isn't
So
it though?
think about it. The process of drying, does that do something to the yan content? Why would it?
Yeah, you
I
wouldn't think it would.
I would assume that if it did anything, it's probably a part of the decomposition process. of
Right.
the
But
raisin.
the
problems
I'm
I always
just
had
like-
with using raisins is the fact that most of them have oil on them. And then you have to
Right.
go and deal with
And
that if you're
sulfite,
using much
too.
of them.
Also that.
If you're using it hot, I think the sulfite boils off. I've never had problems fermenting sulfated raisins.
Yeah.
But I'm still curious as to why nobody has explained where the yan went from the grapes.
I wonder if Tom dealt with that.
Well, I know he's been measuring yan in common ingredients recently, but I haven't heard that he's looked into that. That's one of those interesting little topics, those little rabbit holes we all love to jump down and explore. So that, I'm going to add that to my list for another day.
Yeah,
Because
we
it
know
is
how-
kind of
we know how
curious,
that
right?
goes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Well, if I actually do it, I'm a little bit on the busy side right now, but I hope I can remember to do that. It's going to go on my phone in my list of things to follow up.
Yeah.
I've
That's
got-
only about 1,000 deep, so
I've gotten a lot of distance between me and the days when I actually tried to count yan and parts per million and all that stuff. I'm a twitch of this, a nudge of that, and bibbity bobbity boo these days. It's like I make mead now by the seat of my pants.
but that's because you can.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, it's not. Yeah, that's fair. And when I started out, I was very detail oriented on everything because I knew nothing.
Exactly.
And after reading everything out there, I just started realizing there's a lot of commonality in different approaches, and it's like I know enough that I'm not going to ruin it, and if I do, well, I know enough that I'm going to go, holy crap, how did I do that? And I'm not going to do it again. So
It'll be a learning experience.
Yeah.
it's kind of more of an art form for me now.
Right. But
know.
you have the experience to know that you're following the right path to get where you want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
So-
are certain staples I always use. Like I think I put Opti Red or Opti White in everything I make now.
Yeah, I do too.
And that's straight from Carvin. I never heard of it before he started using it. And I talked to him about it a couple of times and looked it up. I was like, huh. So
Yep. Works
Yeah,
pretty good.
those are two staples I've always got.
Definitely.
And of course, there's a host of products like that available now, so you
Yeah.
can really go down rabbit holes there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm still trying different yeasts. I'll never. I mean, I use a standard set of yeast strains when I'm writing up stuff to put in a book, but in my own goofing around stuff, I go out there. I buy stuff yeast from all over the place, different strains, different types, different results, different everything, just so I can play. I mean, I've done. I can't tell you how many different yeast tests, yeast experiments I've done. You know, where you set 4 or 5 of them, same mead, 6 different yeasts. You know.
Oh yeah.
Just to see what happens. I've done that 4 or 5 times at least.
Same. It's always
So
a
do
fun
you have a
experience.
standard process that you follow for that? So like you're doing the exact same recipe in every respect when you're doing something new. So you have,
If I'm
do
trying
you have
to
your
test,
baseline then?
yeah, if I'm trying to figure out which yeast is best for something, yeah, the base recipe stays exactly the same for every one of them. The only thing I change is the yeast, and if it's one that needs more nutrients, it'll get more nutrients.
Okay, and just out of curiosity, what kind of pitch rate are you using for your yeast?
That varies. I mean, I know I only need like basically a gram per gallon, but I get lazy sometimes and I'll throw in half a packet. Or
Okay.
I won't like how it's rehydrating, so I'll add some more.
All right.
Like I said, a whole lot of seed in my
So
pan.
you are at least you're following a rehydration protocol then.
Oh yeah, I absolutely follow rehydration.
Okay. Well, not everybody does. So that
Yeah.
I mean,
I that whole pitch and pray mentality from the beginning when I first started, just throw it on top and it'll be fine. I don't do that anymore.
okay. I mean,
I
it does
haven't done
work.
I haven't done that for a decade. Yeah, I know it works, but sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't
And you
work
don't
as well. as
and
you
when
want
do
it
you
to.
know? And how well did it
Right.
work? Exactly. So
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely use rehydration protocols, and I see them. Okay, yep, this is definitely good. Pour it in.
Mhm.
Because I've run across batches where 5-gallon batches where I did not let it rehydrate enough, and I ended up God, I had 3 bad packets of yeast in a row.
Oof.
So
that
I mean, I've
sucks.
got, what is it, 10 grams in a pack? Had like 30
Yeah,
grams
8
of
to
yeast.
10 typically. Yeah.
Thank God it was like 30 grams of yeast, but at least it was a 5-gallon batch. I mean, it turned out I finally got one that caught, but I shorted the heck out of it on nutrients after that because all that dead yeast in there is good. For
So,
something.
what's your rehydration medium? What are you using today?
Most of the time I just use a little bit of filtered water and a pinch of brown sugar, like maybe a half a teaspoon.
Oh,
About
okay.
maybe about 125 milliliters of water and a good chunk of brown sugar.
So basically just sugar
Yeah.
with a little molasses in it.
Yeah.
You're not using any of the Opti,
Go
No
for
nutrients. No
yeah,
nothing.
Go Firm or Sterile Flash or any of those things.
No, I used to use those, and honestly, I had better results without them. It's like
Interesting.
I don't know why, because I know they're good products, but
Well, it's sugar. You're just feeding them sugar. So
yeah, I mean, I'm just
Yeah.
feeding them sugar. I'm just jump starting them, so it's like, oh, okay, this works. I got that from Marek Lisecki.
Oh yeah,
over
Merrick.
in Poland. Yeah, he taught me that one.
I know Merrick. Yeah.
Yeah, we made what was that? It was a rose hip mead.
Mm.
When I went to visit him once, and we made a rose hip mead there. Well, that's when I was living in Germany, and he showed me that process. I'm like, well, that's nothing I've ever read anywhere. So yeah, I do that now.
Well, he makes good mead, so
Oh
you know,
yeah, he
you
does.
can
Yeah,
probably rely on his advice.
yeah. God, no. When did I live in Germany?
It was a while ago.
Yeah, I mean, I've known him since then. So I
Well,
keep
he
forgetting.
was down in Mexico with Vicky and I,
Yeah, I saw the
Oh,
pictures.
yeah.
That
so we
looked
got
like a
to
fun
hang
trip.
out with him a little bit. That was
That looked
fun.
like a really good trip. Yeah, Merrick's a
Yeah,
great guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
fun
he
guy.
is. He was so funny when we went to the market when Raul took us to the market in
Oh,
Mexico,
I know,
and he's
right?
like, "I can buy hibiscus by the pound."
Oh God.
I mean,
Yeah,
he bought like 5 kilos or something. Didn't he?
Yeah.
yeah,
funny.
that was so
Priority.
Yeah,
much
he
hibiscus.
practically needed another suitcase just for the hibiscus. It was
Oh,
hilarious.
that's
Yeah.
funny. That's
I
Merrick.
talked to him after that, and he's like, "Oh no, it's not for me. I'm buying it for all of the guys in my club."
Like everybody, yeah.
Probably,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that sounds like Merrick.
Yep.
yeah. Speaking of
Oh,
Mexican
man.
market, have you used the little flower for the chocolate?
No,
yet, Kevin?
no. It's waiting. It's waiting for the right opportunity. Of course, it will be in chocolate, and so I will not get to judge this. But so Valkyrie's Horn this year, our special category is chocolate,
Ah.
and we
Yeah.
got a huge response.
Oh, I'll bet
Cool.
you did.
We have like 23 entries in that category.
Dang,
Hell yeah.
that's impressive.
Yeah, it's like a mini competition all by itself. And so
Cool.
I'm excited about that because
Kind of hope
I'm
I get assigned to that category.
Wait,
well,
when is this?
This is
March
this is
7th and 8th
7th
here
and
in
8th, yeah.
Minneapolis.
in Minneapolis.
If you want to get here, let me know. We'll get you on the list. We're working on judge assignments right now because it's only a week and a half away.
Yeah.
But
Oh, that's-
you know, as the organizer, I'm usually so busy I don't get to taste anything until after the competition's done. But I'm
Yeah.
really going to make an effort to get over there and
So
you
it
know,
just has to have
sample some of
chocolate in
the-
it.
yeah, the highest scoring meads before they go away.
Well, if I'm
really-
fortunate enough to be on that category and have any good ones, I'll make sure to note them down.
well, you know who to contact, and it's not me.
I know.
I do not
Known about that.
influence the judges.
Oh, I know. No, I'll go where they tell me to go. I let the judge assigner guys do what they got to do. I mean, that's
Yep.
it's not for me to ask. I always feel silly asking. And basically, when I mark my judge thing, I mark out the categories I know I'm not that good at. Like braggots is not one of my top capables. I can do it, but only if I'm with with another judge who's very good with braggots. I mean, I'm just average with them, and so I don't want the people competing to have somebody less than they could.
Sure.
It's
But
not
I'm
fair.
excited about that category. I think it's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to taste a few things off of that table. That would be nice.
I'm already starting to pack my mead boxes because hey, I leave next Wednesday.
Yeah, mine are packed.
Send me some deets on that.
Okay.
Yeah,
no
okay.
problem. Yeah, I'll shoot you over. It's Valkyrie's Horn, valkyrieshorn.com, Kevin.
That's the publicity site, yes, and it'll get you to where you want to go.
And that'll take it over to the comp itself. But yeah, I mean,
Rob, I like pepper meads too, so you know.
Oh yeah, capsicumels are a hoot.
Well, we don't have that as a special category this year. We did a few years ago, and that was the other one that got like 24 meads in it.
Rob is on the chat going, Vicky likes to judge the pepper meads. Yeah, well,
Yeah,
Vicky
right.
likes
The really hot one.
No, yeah, not the really hot ones.
The hotter the better. I want to rip my
man.
face off.
I had a melt your face off one at the Mazer one year, and oh my god, it was. I mean, and we had a pepperhead on the board. He was one of the staff, and so I made sure to note it down after I got done putting my face back on, and because literally it was just like,
it was like salsa.
Yeah.
Oh god, no, dude, it was way beyond salsa. This was like ghost pepper level. This stuff was
Straight up
I
ghost
remember
pepper
we had
puree,
a really
right?
spicy
Not a
one in the
pepperhead.
Mexican competition too.
No, not a pepperhead. Chipotle is about as far as I can go. Chipotle, serrano, jalapeno,
Right.
I'm okay with, but I prefer chipotle just because you get that smoky thing. Jalapeno to me,
And they're not as
I mean,
hot.
they're not as hot. And to me, jalapeno is not too hot, but the green flavor that you get from jalapeno, I just don't really. It's just not my big thing.
Oh, really?
know?
Had a
I love
really good
I love
smoked
the
chili.
green pepper flavor.
Yes, yeah, I'm
It's
not.
not in my coffee.
Yeah, it's
No.
just not my. In your coffee?
Not in your coffee.
I had a
When
really
you
good smoked
ferment
chili
coffee
pepper made.
beans, they taste like green pepper.
Ah.
Mhm.
Get a really
Yeah.
good one of that from Scale and Feather over here in Avondale.
Oh,
Oh,
those
yeah?
guys make some good stuff.
Oh yeah, they do. They're right down the street.
Oh,
And they
cool.
like-
I didn't
they
realize you were
make-
so close to you.
Yeah,
They
oh,
like
yeah.
making hot pepper meads too, I know.
They had
Yeah.
some really good meads in stock this year, and
Yeah, he does a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We gotta get them. We gotta get them on. I don't think we've had them. Have we had them? No, we did have them.
We had them on.
last year. Yeah.
We had them on once.
Yeah.
I know they haven't entered the competition, but maybe next year we'll twist their arms a little bit.
Yeah.
It'd be fun to get them in because
Yeah, it
they
would
do
be.
make some good stuff. So
Yeah.
I'll see if I can make it to the
Yeah.
Valkyrie Cup.
That would
well,
be
if
cool.
you can.
I'm
That
sitting
would
here
be-
looking at. I'm sitting here
haven't
looking at
seen-
about
I
20
haven't
bottles of
seen you
raspberry
in, like,
mocha.
Yeah. I haven't seen you in like years, so I would love that.
I've got
Well,
a raspberry chocolate coffee mead sitting here right in front of me.
There you go. Oh,
and honestly, I mean, this applies to anybody listening. You know, and not specifically Valkyrie's Horn, but look at the competitions in your area. Look at the ones you think you can travel to, because many of these competitions have some opportunities for you to do things. You know, social
yeah.
activities or education, whatever. We do all of that, but take advantage of those opportunities. Getting together with other people who have
Who
the
do what you
interest and
do.
enthusiasm that you
Yeah.
have is
Mhm.
super
Oh.
helpful.
It's such a wonderful thing because you're like in your own world then, you know.
Right.
I mean, it's just I love it. I mean, it's just fantastic. I'm getting that now with the beekeeper folk and and the gal who I met at my class who wants to go with me to the Mazer Cup this fall. She's like, well, but what would I do? And I said, well, I can get you on as a, I'll talk to him and we'll get you signed up as a steward. And she's like, well, what's a
Steward
steward
or
do?
seller.
Or
Oh,
yeah, or
such a good
seller.
idea.
And I said,
Or
yeah,
work in the office.
yeah, or work in the office. I said, but you could be, you could be a steward or seller. And I said, you could be pouring or carrying it out to the table, and you get to meet the mead makers and, or the judges. And, and oftentimes they'll let you taste what they're tasting. So you learn a lot. And she's like, oh my God, I got to do this. She's so excited, but yeah, she just started making mead. So she was just, when she found out who I was, she was just like, oh my God, and these people don't know me. They don't know Gotmead, it's not a,
Right.
they don't live in that world. But she mentioned something about making mead to somebody who said, oh yeah, there's this gal that's got this site. So somebody else that knew me, I guess, or knew of Gotmead, and sent her there. So she was, she said her husband was like going to flip out when he finds out who I am. So me
Nice.
and John are going to go up there and I'm going to take some bottles.
Yeah, of course.
Nice.
Yeah, well, she's got a sourdough starter she's going to share with me. So
Oh,
Nice.
There you go. That's a
Hell
first grade.
yeah, she's like, I got a sourdough starter. I'm like, I'm on my way.
Yeah. Well, so down at the Kansas City Beermeisters competition over the past week, I was down there, and at the awards ceremony, I was sharing mead with a bunch of folks and a couple of gals out of Oklahoma. I think they made 20 trips over to the table. One of them says, "You've ruined my life." Because until this weekend, I thought mead was horrible.
Wah, wah.
Yeah. So,
I've been
you
there a
know,
couple times.
that's another thing. There's some bad stuff out there. And then when you run into good stuff, it's like the light bulb goes off. It's an aha moment. And,
Oh yeah.
and it can change somebody's life because it's like, whoa, there's like this whole new world here, which was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
It is, and it lets you be creative. And I mean, for me at least, that's like one of the only places I'm creative.
And it wouldn't have happened without one of those meetings, those competitions, a meeting, whatever it is, where you get a chance to share. That's
Yeah,
what makes the
exactly.
difference.
yeah.
Well, that and getting a chance to taste all kinds of different things
Right.
that
Oh my
you
gosh,
can't
yeah.
get around where you are.
And
Yep.
some of the exotic things you run across.
Oh my God.
Stunning. Yeah. I mean, and getting to go and then try that outside the country was cool too.
Mhm.
So far now I've had the opportunity to try these different things in 3 different countries, which is so cool. I mean, because there's different fruits, there's different honeys,
Yep. Yeah, so I think one of those life-changing moments for me was I was at the Minnesota Mashout competition, which is now defunct, but Carvin Wilson came up there and he brought like 40 different honey samples.
That was at the
And-
beginning of his library, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well,
He's
I
up to
think
like
he had a
200
whole lot
now,
more,
yeah.
but that's what he carried up.
Oh,
with,
okay.
Yeah.
And I was a pretty new mead maker. I think I'd been making mead for about a year or so at that point. And, I'd had the usual sort of generic honeys. And one of the things that just blew my mind was coriander blossom honey. And
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
if you don't like coriander or cilantro, that's a thing, right? But
Yeah, soap.
that honey is a dead ringer for cilantro. I mean,
Cool.
you couldn't ask for something that was more accurate. And I had
wait,
no
so
idea
You're
that a
saying
varietal
that
honey
honey
could do that.
tastes like cilantro?
It does.
That's
just-
very interesting.
It's
I need to check it out.
crazy. And whether you like it or you don't like it, is it kind of a different question? But the fact that
Right.
it tastes so much like that herb, right?
Right.
I couldn't believe it. And it changed everything for me about mead.
So that would be a perfect honey for a taco mead.
For a what?
A
Taco
taco
mead.
mead.
Yeah.
Explain.
Well, I've seen recipes online of folks doing like taco meat, and I think they just dump like taco seasoning inside the
Got it.
meat.
Yeah.
And I always thought that was insane, right? As a Mexican.
Uh-huh. But that would work, wouldn't it?
But that, if you're saying that honey tastes like cilantro, like
Oh,
coriander,
absolutely.
I think that kind of could work. I guess.
I want to
don't
be
know.
disgusted, and I really want to try it.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, I
man.
want to try it. I would try it, right?
I would
Like,
absolutely try that.
When you
Yeah.
open a bucket of that, and I do have a bucket of it, and I don't know how I'm going to use a whole bucket because half the population in the U.S. hates it. But when you open a bucket of that stuff, the whole room smells like cilantro.
Oh my God.
Is it
Dang.
that strong?
Holy
It's
smokes.
that strong, yes.
See, Raul, you ought to
That's
be
a
doing
lot.
something with that. I mean, cilantro shows up in so much.
I mean, we use it for everything here.
Yeah, right.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. You need to like totally, capitalize on that.
I will
I'm
send
gonna
you
look around. I'll
couple
try
of
to
pounds.
see. Yeah,
You need to put your mailing address in our
I can. Yeah, I can.
team
I can
chat.
use it
Yeah,
now.
so that
Yeah,
because I've got a book to send you too. So
Oh hell yeah!
yeah. So
Yeah, I'll
but-
send you some. Sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy. I made a Belgian wit style braggot, and instead of using spices, I used cilantro honey.
That's cool.
Oh my
Coriander.
God.
that would work.
It worked. It worked really well.
Rob, have you worked with that one?
With cilantro honey?
Yeah.
Or coriander.
Coriander,
yeah.
coriander.
coriander.
honey,
I have not, but I would. I love coriander.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
Like I said,
that would
though, half the
that would be-
population hates it, but
see,
you know,
and that's
Well,
Oh,
that's
I
because
know.
they've got the soap gene,
right.
Yeah.
I do
You
not
should-
know soap gene.
Now, interesting honeys though. So one of the beekeepers at my class last weekend has fields of lavender.
Ooh.
And he's like, so could you make mead with lavender honey? I said, oh yeah. I said, oh God, yeah, you could make an amazing
God.
mead with it. And he's like,
Sign me
really?
up.
So yeah, I'm gonna end up having to teach a mead making class, I think.
See, that's the one that's the one that would taste like soap to me.
Yeah, well, if you did too much of it, it would.
Yeah.
Because people associate the lavender smell with, soap and,
With soap.
Yeah.
and hand cream and whatnot.
I've done that though. Like I do understand the too much of it, and also with cilantro, I do enjoy cilantro. But if you eat it when it's in flour, it does taste like soap. So I understand both sides of that one.
Right.
I have to try that one with my chai halut next time I make it.
There you go.
Ah, there.
Hell
See,
yeah.
see.
Darn you!
So, if you're looking for a source, I believe Z Specialties out of Southern California is where I got.
No,
mine
they're in
from.
Northern Cal. They're up in San Francisco.
Oh, Northern. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
They have really high quality honey. It's also
Yes, they
rather
do.
expensive.
But they run sales with AMMA, what, twice a year now?
Yeah, it depends. I don't know. I'm not running that program anymore, so I don't know how often.
Yeah, but usually it's once or twice a year, and it'll be like
usually
10 or 15% off,
20%. Yeah.
plus free shipping, which is the big
that's
thing.
good.
Because if you're shipping it halfway, like for me, it's all the way across the country. So.
Well, yeah, that's
Right.
like buying honey from Sean over in Hawaii.
Right.
Yeah, but Sean, got
The
it.
shipping is good.
Yeah.
I bought a couple of jars from Cloven Hive off of Richard Antley 2 weeks ago over at the Ren Fair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got last year I bought some carrot honey off them. This year I got Scotch broom and pumpkin.
Ooh,
cool.
Fun. What's
Yeah,
it taste like?
The pumpkin blossom is got a really nice earthy. The Scotch, but not like not loamy. Just it's hard to describe. It's
Like
not
garden
barnyard.
smell?
It's not barnyard at all. No, it smells like honey.
Okay.
No off.
Well, no, but I mean, like that the earthy, sorry, earthy like a garden smells.
Oh, a little bit, yeah.
Hmm.
The pleasant smell. The pleasant.
Yeah.
Yeah. A
Fresh.
little bit like that.
turned
Fresh.
earth.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
Fresh, earthy. Yeah, like a good. I want to almost say like after a good rain, but
After a good
Like
rain.
like
Yeah.
loamy soil.
yeah,
lots
except
of
not
organic.
loamy. Loamy throws the wrong connotation into it. It's got a
Really?
really good flavor to it, though.
Oh, okay.
And the Scotch broom, I have not haven't figured that one out yet, but it's really good. I sell him my books, and then I give him half the money back and buy honey off him.
Yeah. Well,
Stocks up for the year.
You know what?
Every year
that's
at
a
Ren Fair, I
fair
go up and
trade.
he stocks up on my books for the year, and I turn around and give him his money back and buy honey
Right.
off him.
That's great.
It works. It's great.
Yep.
He's the easiest source of book sales every year because you know he's going to stock up.
Right.
But I don't do a whole lot of, I mostly just leave it on Amazon and let them deal with it. But, I sell to eateries every once in a while. They'll reach
Sure.
out and go, hey, I want to sell some books. Yeah, I sell them discounted for that. And then they're all autographed because anything
Yeah.
goes through my hands, I sign.
Yeah.
We should get a couple of your books up here at our local meaderies.
You should.
You
Yeah.
should.
Yes, you should.
We don't have many meaderies here, oddly enough, but
You got 3 in Minnesota right now, I believe.
well, no, technically there's more than that, but yeah, 3 in the area. So
Yeah, I just I don't keep a whole lot here at the house, maybe 20 or 30 copies of each, but I can always order more, and then
right.
I order them and have them come to me, and then I'll ship them out. But I don't ship for free.
Right.
But I do. They're deeply discounted when they're buying them straight from me because why not?
So I'm curious, is this like a print on demand kind of thing?
Yeah, it's a
Oh.
Amazon print on demand.
And that's the sole publisher of the book
Yeah.
that you have?
I'm
Mhm.
completely self-published. I didn't know how to reach out to deal with publishers, and Amazon
And it's
print on demand.
it's a tough thing anyway.
Yeah, and
Right,
Amazon print
right.
on demand was like, I read.
Yeah,
voracious
I
reader.
remember uploading the first one and us going, "Oh, that's,
Yeah, and then
that didn't work out the way we thought it was going to do it. All right, let me go fix
yeah.
that."
And hovering over that button. Remember that first couple of days, we were like, we sold another one.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, I totally get that. Yeah,
that was cool.
absolutely.
I'd never be able to quit my day job for it, but it's been
Oh, no.
fun.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and you're advancing the craft, right? I mean, that's
I
kind of
hope so.
important.
Honestly, the biggest thing I've ever wanted to do for people with these books is just to inspire them to let their minds wander.
Mhm.
Here's a good foundation. If you think you want to try something different, go for it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and the wonderful thing is like the number one question that we get, that we see in the groups, that I get on Gotmead, that, it's I need a recipe. Give me
Yeah.
a recipe for X,
Do you
and
have?
they're always, do you have a recipe for blah, blah, blah? Or somebody will go, oh, wow, I just finished my, strawberry orange blossom pecan mead. And they're like, oh my God, how'd you make that? Tell me the recipe. So, and I get that, it's people need that, especially when you're first, getting
First year or
started.
two.
Yeah. It's really handy to have. God knows I depended on them pretty heavily, and I still go by my recipes because I'll go back and say, all right, I want to make this one again.
I do that.
Yeah.
I do that all the time.
That's why
thankfully I've got some good books on my shelf.
Right. Yeah. You've got some books that actually have those in there. Yeah.
How did I do this again?
Here, let me get that book down. Was that in Melomels or was that in the
Well, it's like I got that whole Polish section in the Melomels book, and it's like I go back and reread that section all the time. Like I was like, how did I do that? Oh, okay, yeah, I remember that now. Yeah, it's fun to have instant reference, and it's kind of funny to be referencing your own work.
How many batches of mead do you think you've made at this point? And I realize they're mostly 1 gallon, but what do you think? Say hello, Vicky.
Yeah, it's a leaf fell.
The first batch was in 07. So that's 18 years.
Wow.
Wow, I never really thought about that before. Oh, good Lord.
I'm sorry. I keep asking you these questions that you don't quite know how to answer.
Well, no, I mean it's a good question and it's very fair. I just haven't thought about the numbers.
Okay.
I don't 500 or 600, 800. I don't think I haven't topped 1,000.
Okay.
But yeah, it's several hundred easily. On the far end of 5.
Mm-hmm. Well, what's the definition of an expert, right? 10,000 repetitions or something like that. Isn't that what the conventional wisdom says?
10,000.
So you're. I think that's what they say.
I don't think I'm going to get there.
Yeah, probably not. With this kind of thing. But
my chemistry prof told me that an expert is an X is and has been, and a spurt is a drip under pressure. So that's what I think.
Okay. But you're well on the way, I think, especially in this area, right? Where you honestly, in a lifetime, it's hard to do 10,000, right? For this kind of thing. It's not like you're shooting baskets.
No, but I mean, I'm 100% of the way to this point. I've been standing on the shoulders of giants, man.
Well, right.
I mean, I've known Ken Schramm almost as long as I knew Vicky. I've known Carvin. Carvin lives 20 miles from here. You got Pete. You got man, everybody from Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's AJ.
And of course, this community though is
quite
supportive.
I've picked the brains of everybody in the community at one point or another. So I mean, that's one of the reasons Vicky picks on me a lot, because she says I don't give myself enough credit. It's like I didn't generate any of this. I've just been parroting everything I've learned from everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some of the recipe ideas, yeah, sure. Some of those, a lot of those are my own brain going off on different tangents, but they didn't start there. They started if I had to pick a favorite recipe out of everything, it would probably be my Christmas cranberry. And that recipe was man, I picked on Pete for that. I got at least one of the guys up in Colorado. I bugged Vicky about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was asking for input on this thing from everybody. I asked what could go with this? What could go with that? What spice could I add here? I mean, Pete probably was getting tired of me for a while. Pete Pikulik.
Okay.
Maybe considering that's one of the things that you've come back to over and over, your Christmas cranberry, maybe give us a quick rundown on that for people who are listening to the show that are kind of new and looking for some recipe advice or inspiration.
Well, that was shoot. I actually don't have a copy of my first book up here. I've got 2 and 3.
Now, where did that book go?
The other ones are in the house. That started around Christmas time. the origin of that one was Vicky started up a Christmas recipe competition on the Gotmead side. And people started posting these recipes they were making up for a cranberry mead. And my wife makes this killer cranberry relish every year at Christmas time with, apples and walnuts and maple and cranberries. And a lot of my stuff is, I do a whole lot of mental tasting. I kind of imagine what it's going to taste like.
I do that too.
I can think in flavors.
Right.
And as soon as I saw that contest poke up there, I was like, I'm gonna make a recipe for that using my wife Jeanette's cranberry relish recipe. So yeah, I blanched the raspberries and got maple syrup and walnuts and the apple juice, and okay, and then I just made it up on the spot. The secondary, I back sweetened with the maple syrup and everything, and I won that competition too. I believe I got the most votes.
Nice.
So wait, how do you get votes in that deal?
Well, that was everybody posted their recipes on the website, and Vicky had a little poll at the end of which one did you like best.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I won by about 5 or 10 votes.
Okay.
Cool.
Interesting.
I mean, it was bragging rights.
Way before my time, I'm afraid. But yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, that was just converting a relish, a cranberry relish that I really liked over into a recipe. I was like, well, this could be good. I tried not to make it too sweet because I wanted a little bit of tartness to it from the cranberries and everything. Goes real well with turkey.
I bet.
So that's another whole topic, and of course, I think it's Laura Angiotti, right, who kind of did the whole
the mead historian.
Pairing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is she the one who did the mead pairing, or is that?
No, Laura Angiotti is the mead historian. The
okay,
my
mistake.
Was
Chrissy.
Chrissy.
Christy Manafort.
That's
right.
The art of mead tasting and food pairing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, that was Christy.
Right. Something else to think about, right?
Yep.
What things go well, what aspects of a mead complement certain types of things, all that.
Yeah, that was a pretty good book.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't looked at that one in a while, but
yeah,
it's worth going back to as well.
Yeah. Apparently the Daily Deer came by late tonight.
The what?
The Daily Deer. There is a deer superhighway that apparently goes right through my front yard.
Right, and so the doggies are all having a great time
in front of the big picture windows in the living room. Yeah. So yeah, they're all up on their little love seat right now, barking their full heads off. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I love that you guys all started making mead like way, way, way back in the day, with the Vikings and everybody else. This is awesome.
Making us
It's
pound
awesome.
Well, I'd say I used to have to hide mine so that the dinosaurs wouldn't get it. We got to be careful. Yeah.
Us young pups, we're kind of jealous.
Yeah, but you're not hurting as much as us old people, so. Let me tell you, I'm not looking forward to picking up car buoys going forward.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the reason I do a lot of 3-gallon these days. I have to get my husband to lift the 5 gallons now.
Right?
That's why I've been shifting into 3-gallon and 5 liters more.
Mm-hmm.
Those 5 and 6 gallon jugs are hard to lift.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, if I want to make a big batch, I'll split it into 2 carboys at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I use my 13-gallon fermenter, it's like then I have to rack it into 2 6-gallon pails so that it can be maneuvered because I've gotten so when I use that I've got an old bath chair that I had when I had to have knee surgery and couldn't stand, to take a shower. So I had one of them bath chairs, so I hung on to it. John's like, "Why are you hanging on to that?" And I'm like, "Because I can put a carburetor on it.
Mm-hmm.
I could put my 13-gallon on, and it's high enough that I can rack out of it, but not so high that I can't get into it.
right?
That's a really good idea.
Yeah, they work great. And you can get, if you've got 5-gallon carboys or 5-gallon buckets or whatever, 6-gallon buckets, they're at exactly the right height to add, to stir, to do all the right thing, all the things you got to do, but high enough that you can rack into whatever you're going to rack into below, so it works out pretty good, because I'm short enough that, if I'm doing that on top of my workbench that I have for my meat thing, that's too high.
How do you get everything into that thing elevated? You don't lift it, you start it at that height, right?
No, if I'm using it like with the 13-gallon, that cart or that because I've got one of those big what are they called? The ones with the orange tops. They're big.
Oh, like an igloo cooler kind of thing?
No, it looks like a barrel actually, but it's shaped like a barrel, but it's a 13-gallon, 23-liter, whatever it is.
Oh, I think I know what you mean.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I can't think of the name. I can't think of the name of them, but they're like a good brand. They make really good stuff. They've got
Spidell.
Thank you. Yes,
Thank you. That's it.
Yeah, and so I set that on the bath chair, and that's where it stays. And I've got 2 of them. So when I'm racking. Yeah, I bought 2 of them. So I started in one, and then when I rack into the other one, which is then on the floor. So at that point, I will have to have help. I'll have John help me, and we'll lift it up onto the bath chair so that when I do my final racking, it racks out into 2 6-gallons that are then on the floor.
Sure.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, it was something that I thought of because I was doing that in the basement because that thing was just too big to be in the kitchen in the old house. Right. And so I took it down in the basement, and I'm going, shit, how am I gonna do this? And then I'm looking around. Oh, hey, look, I got that battery, and those things are sturdy enough to hold like 300 pounds. So perfect,
Right.
I've got one of those bath chairs.
Right? Yeah. I mean, it's like, I bought the thing and I didn't want to throw it out because what if I bust my knee again? I might need it,
My mom was visiting and she had a bad knee that she twisted or something. And so we bought one of these things up in the yard sale site around
you can
here.
pick them up at yard sales. There's
but it's
second
sitting out in the
dirty.
garage right now. It's like, no reason getting rid of it. I mean,
there you go.
Sure,
See, now you know what you can do with the thing. And they're made out of plastic, so you can sterilize them. I mean, they're they're cleanable. So all the way around, they're ideal. Yeah,
and so, they're definitely good fermenter.
Yeah,
Adam Bystrom and I made a 45-gallon batch of mead this summer for the competition for our educational mead. Luckily, I have a pump because getting mead out of something that size is kind of a pain.
Yes.
Yeah. Pumps are a blessing, honestly.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Even the small ones.
Yeah.
Right. So actually,
I use my wine jet for that.
Yeah, I've got a.
Oh yeah, that'll work.
I've got a Bonvino, so I can probably use that. Yeah.
Yep, those are great. This yesterday and today, I bottled 110 bottles.
Oh wow!
For our educational mead.
That must have taken a while.
Yeah, it took about 8 hours altogether over 2 days.
How many did you drink?
What?
How many did you drink?
How many did I what?
Drink. How many did you drink?
Oh, drink. None.
None? No.
None.
There's
no, absolutely none.
He has to have a certain number of them because these are these the commemoratives?
No, these are for the educational.
Oh,
the wood
the
aging.
educational, yeah, the wood aging. Okay.
And that's only one half.
Oh my gosh.
Adam has the other half that he's doing, which is the 5-month contact. The stuff I'm doing is 1 month contact. So that's our side-by-side comparison.
Okay. Oh, that'll be
12 different wood species.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That is cool.
And we have a guest speaker.
Yeah, who's speaking?
The company that makes the wood products.
Oh, cool.
One of the owners of the company is coming down to give us a talk while we're doing our sampling, and we're going to have like a QR coded sensory data collection piece for people.
Oh, cool!
So we can publish the results afterwards.
That'll be nice.
Yeah, it's going to be cool.
You should make arrangements to to broadcast him.
Yeah, I intend to.
I mean, if he's okay with that, yeah. I mean,
absolutely. No, we already told him we're going to record it. So,
okay, cool.
Oh, yeah.
So then you can just throw it up.
Right. Yeah, no, it's going to be cool. So, Rob, that's another reason for you to be here.
Okay.
Just, you know.
You're just gonna browbeat him till he comes.
Well, he already said, send me
Uh,
the details. So,
Yeah.
Well, I said so that I could see if I'm available.
right, I know.
If I seriously will consider it, but I know I'm getting some work done on my knees here. Pretty
Right.
quick, and I got to check
No,
the
I'm
calendar
just-
to find out
just-
when it is.
twisting the screw a little bit, you know.
Oh, yeah, make me feel bad if I can't come.
Oh, sure. Well, that just makes it, makes you more likely to come the next time, right?
And you're gonna let
Actually,
us.
it does.
You're gonna let a silly thing like knee surgery keep you from going to a comp? Shoot, I went to the Mazer Cup one day after having my arm fixed,
Mm.
and
Well,
they got yelled at by everybody for being an idiot. So
Well, yeah.
I was about to say that was pretty dumb.
it was. Pretty dumb. Oh, you should have seen me trying to fly with that, and I literally still got all the. They had to do surgery on my arm, on my elbow, and so like it still had like they put like 16 feet of wrapping on there before they put you in the sling. So I look like a mummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like I get there and like the entire staff at the Mazer was like, "Are you stupid?"
Yeah, well,
Go over
dedicated.
there. Yeah,
That's it.
right. And I'm like, well,
Priorities.
we have a competition. They're like, go over there and sit down.
Yeah, I'm not getting surgery; it's just shots. But
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, you'll be fine then.
It's hard
Yeah.
to get those scheduled every once in a while.
That's no excuse.
Yeah, it
You know,
is.
working
Yeah, I
with
just
the
had
I've
the,
had those.
I had those too just a couple weeks
The
ago.
first day or two, you're like, oh my God, this feels awesome.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
not. I don't do the cortisone. I'm straight into the gel.
Yeah,
Cortisone.
that's what they did the gel on me, and
Cortisone
it
does
was
nothing.
like, yeah, the first shot of the gel, I couldn't use the knee for a couple days, but then it was
Yeah.
great,
Yeah.
But after that, but I'm gonna have to go back again. It didn't. They were like, well, you get anywhere from 1 to 6 months. Apparently, I'm on the 1 month part of the thing.
Yeah, everybody's on the 1 month. Are you kidding?
I made 6, so I'm not going to cry about it.
Oh no, go
Wow.
for it. Yeah, they say
This
some
will be
people can get.
This will be my 3rd series that I've had. The first one lasted 7 or 8 months. The second one lasted 6, and this will be 3.
Well, that's pretty awesome. I
So
gotta
I'm
say, you
not,
have
even with returning, production and returning benefits and everything, I've still got several series to go before they just got to replace them.
Oh yeah,
Right.
that's what they told me too. Same
been
thing.
there, done that.
Yep. I'm
Yep.
not
Yeah.
old enough yet, which it's nice to be told I'm not old enough for something.
You know what?
Isn't it?
You don't want to wait too
Yeah.
long though. And this is my experience. You and I can have another conversation about this offline, but yeah, don't wait too long.
No,
Yeah,
my
I'm
doc
not
is
going to.
keeping an eye on it. He says not yet. Do this instead. Okay.
Because we all want to keep making mead and we want to be able to do the 5-gallon batches when we want to. So
Yep.
But
right.
I got myself a really cool purplewood cane. AJ, you'd love it. Yeah.
purple wood. So where
yeah,
did
I
it
don't know
come
what
from?
kind
What's
of
the
wood it is, but I got it from it's a Ukrainian family that makes these canes, and apparently they sell them on Amazon. Because I was looking around for what I'd gotten rid of my collapsible cane that I hauled with me to Europe because I was post knee surgery when I went to Europe for the EMMA, and I needed to get another one because my knee's been just it's been deviling me, and it's just good to have one handy in case you have a day where you need it, And there's these purple wood canes. I can give you the link. They're pretty cool, and they're not terribly
Probably a Purple Heart.
Yeah, probably Purple
That's
Heart.
what I was wondering. Yeah,
Beautiful hand
If
carved.
you
out
put
of
it in water and it
Brazil,
sinks,
I
it's
think.
probably Purple Heart.
Oh, this thing is heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's solid, yeah. But it's a beautiful cane, and it's well made, and it's not ornate, but it's well styled. If that makes any sense.
Send me that link too.
I will. 'Cause it's really, really cool. I mean, and they have them different. You have to make sure you get the right height, and they've got different types of wood too. I'm a purple person, so. But yeah, that's a But then this I can whack people with it, and make them pick up my carboys. You over there, pick that up, move it over here. But that'll be cool to get. That'll be cool if we can get you up there.
Yeah.
All right. Should we look at a Nathan question?
I think we
While
need
still
to.
have a little time.
Yeah, I think we need to.
I'm trying to
All right.
get over there. Hold on.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got the usual assortment of very well researched Nathan questions, and first one he's got is, what's your favorite historical mead recipe and why? You there? Rob?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah.
Oh, of
Nathan
course, who else?
questions for you. We already know
yeah.
them. So. Rob's over there going, yeah, why?
I feel like I
that's
should have
funny.
prepared for this.
no. It's more fun when we spring them on you.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have one. I'm sitting here staring at a sip through time, and I keep meaning to get into it and make some of these older historical recipes, and I just don't. Yeah, I don't have a favorite historical recipe.
The Polish
Sorry.
ones might count.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they tend to fall into into historical category, generally speaking.
I'm very partial to a good Wisniak sour cherry mead.
Oh yeah,
Polish sour cherry. That's
those
quite
are
good.
so nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got 2 bottles of them on my shelf right now. Well, 2 5-liter carboys full of it on my shelf right now.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm very fond of Polish meads. I do like them. They are sweeter by and large, but I don't, I drink them like dessert meads anyway. So, yeah. Well, my first attempt at a historical mead actually was I guess that would count. Was I made a Zvoniak.
Okay.
That's one of those where I picked everybody's brains for spices and everything. Cardamom, coriander. It was I think I used orange blossom honey on it even, but it was a semi-historical or semi-accurate Polish Zvoniak. Yeah, I thought that was really good. It's I don't have a specific recipe for a historical mead that I've made, but I've made one using historical methods. So,
well, there you go.
yeah,
Have you got a copy of Digby yet?
I do not.
Yeah, grab one. They've got it in print now.
You remember the year at Mazer Cup when the Polish distributor came?
Oh yeah, they used to come every year.
Yeah, and you remember the year when you thought they were going to offer me a job?
Yeah, that was great.
That was my Zvoniak.
Yeah, they tried his Zvoniak, and this was Stosky's. And Polish family, Dad has been making mead his whole life, and they were distributors out of Chicago. And and they tasted Rob's Zvoniak, and they were like,
yeah, he was asking me, what's my batch yield? How many batches do I make a year? I was like, what?
It was that good.
It was like this came from a 5-gallon batch. He goes, well, that's not worth my time. I was like, what? He thought I was trying to sell him something or something. I don't know. But he came back 3 or 4 times to get more.
Yeah. Oh, they took me aside and asked me, like, how long has he been making me? He said, this is really good. And I was like, yeah, he's relatively new at this, but yeah, he's good at it,
That was, I don't know. I think that was the year I came back. Well, I think I was living in the UK. No, it was when I was in Germany.
You were in Germany then, yeah.
Yeah, that was when I was in Germany. I flew back from Mazer Cup that one year.
Mm-hmm.
That was the year that I came with Merrick.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So, yeah. But, yeah, it's like, how she's asking me these questions. I'm like, what? You were saying you thought they were going to offer me a job. Oh, that was funny.
Yeah, it was.
Well, that was pretty flattering, though. I was like, oh, I felt kind of good about that.
Mm-hmm. So, should we try another Nathan question?
Try another Nathan question.
Feeling brave now, huh?
Well, that one was kind of no bueno.
Okay, well, here's one for you. So, what do you see trending on the horizon for braggots and distinctions of blending in categories of meads?
I don't drink braggots.
Okay, well then you can just say I don't know, and we'll move on.
Yeah,
I don't know. Blending, I think, and we were talking about blending a while ago. I think blending is a big thing. Should be a big thing.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, that's one of the funnest parts of the process is when you make several different meads and go, okay, let me create something now.
Right.
Let me get really freaky. I think blending. There should absolutely be categories for blending.
that would be cool. That would be
how
really
how
cool.
would you even manage a category like it would have to be really broad, right? I mean,
It
Yeah.
probably would.
And then
blended mead.
you'd be judging it. You wouldn't be judging it so much against the BJCP category
Right.
as you'd be judging it against, is this a good mead?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
Is
that's
it
what we
a
should
good
do for our special category next year.
Ooh, that
Oh,
would be cool.
that could be fun.
That
It
could you get
could.
some,
I
you
mean,
would
it
get
would
some
be
very creative
It
stuff.
would be hard to judge.
Oh, I'd love to judge
Well,
that
I
category.
mean, that's right up there with the Weirdomels.
No,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
my
I was
favorite
gonna say.
category is Weirdomels, man.
I mean, you'd want to set a few rules for it, right? Like,
Oh,
like
yeah.
it has to be blended from at least 2 or 3 different meads, whatever. I mean, you'd have to put some parameters around it, so that way people aren't just like throwing some random stuff in there. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, then
that'd
it's
be
like,
doable.
what constitutes a blend? How do I know you blended this?
Well, you don't. As a judge, you don't, right?
Yeah.
You're judging what's in front of you. But so much of this stuff that we do is on the honor system anyway.
Yeah.
You just put it out there and you say, this is what we expect you to do. If somebody turns you in because they have intimate knowledge of your process, okay.
Yeah, that'd be
Fine. I mean,
Dude, you couldn't
hopefully you don't have friends, quote unquote, like that. But
If I was going to turn something into a blended category, it would be one of those like we were also talking about. I've got this much left in this carboy.
right.
Yeah.
What do I do with
And
that?
it just turns out I'll never be able to make this again.
What goes good
Right.
with this?
Yep.
But oh my gosh, it was good.
Yeah, but I think that's a great question, and actually, I really do think Vicky, we should do a show on blending,
Okay.
just all by itself. I think
Okay,
that's a
we
great
can do that.
topic for us to
We'll have
cover.
to find the right person to bring
Well,
on,
right,
or we can just debate it in general. You
Yeah.
know?
All right, so
I'm
another
down with
question.
that. Yeah.
Another
next one.
question from Nathan here is, what mead styles, or from what countries, do you wish we had more clear diagnostic information in terms of use of spices and their measurements?
Where he gets his stuff.
Oh, boy. From what countries?
Yeah.
Ugh. Poland screams to mind. They're very particular about their meads. The spices
And their measurements. Yeah, that's a tough
Right.
one.
So
spices
you know
and their
what comes to
measurements.
mind for me is Africa.
That's a
Yeah.
whole lot of. See, what comes to mind to me is India.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Same.
Okay.
Yeah. India or any of the Middle East.
Or
Yeah.
for chili heads out there, Thailand.
Thailand, yeah.
Right.
Because, I mean, the first time I had Thai food was actually in Bangkok. So,
Oh,
boy.
yeah.
Did your face
And-
fall off?
What's that?
Did your face fall off?
Damn near. I was having dinner with a buddy of mine. This is when I was working in Kuwait. We were going to a Cisco course in Bangkok, and we were having dinner at this roadside street vendor restaurant kind of deal. And these two nice older ladies were sitting at the table next to us, and I must have looked like my face was about to melt off because she handed me a branch with leaves on it, and she barely spoke any English at all, but she said, "Eat one of these leaves," and it immediately counteracted the heat.
Huh.
Oh, wow.
Well, I want to know what those leaves are so I
I
can keep
do
them on
too.
hand.
I do too.
Right.
I'm gonna have to talk to my Thai friends and see if I can find
my
out.
buddy and I joined them.
hopefully
They asked
not
us if we
coca
wanted to
leaves.
join them, and we sat there and had dinner with them. And they were really nice ladies, but hardly spoke any English at all. But they thought we were hilarious because
Yeah.
because we couldn't handle spicy food. But Thai
Yeah.
chilies, boy, I mean they're Thai food
They are
is
not
all about
messing
the-
around.
all about the balance, man, and they're
Yeah.
really good at balance.
Yeah.
If it's it's like the sweeter the mead, the sweeter the mead, the higher alcohol you can handle with it. That's
Right.
very, very proportionate. So same thing. So as far as chilies, I'd go Thailand. As far as just about everything else, I'd probably want to say India, or
Mhm.
like you said, maybe Africa.
Africa, yeah. And Middle Eastern spices. That's something that I've been playing with with cooking for a long time. but I haven't ventured into mead with it yet.
Yeah.
But there are so many amazing spices.
I made one time a piment with some long pepper and cardamom and a bunch of other spices from that area. And it turned out really, really good. Yeah, like
All right, so Raul, I want you to
up?
talk about long pepper because I just bought some. So tell me, what should I expect?
It's interesting, honestly. Like, I felt it wasn't as spicy as normal pepper, It's kind of like more mild, more subtle, I guess. But I made it I used it in a piment, so it was blended with a bunch of other stuff. So I didn't really get like the specific nuances of long pepper. But like it smells really good. I used it in food a couple times, and it's also pretty nice.
So how are you able to describe the smell, or is it just one of those kind of unique things that you just unless you've had it, you don't know?
I mean, it feels kind of like pepper, but different. It's really hard to describe.
Gallengales like that. It's like ginger pepper.
Ginger, but kind of not.
But kind of not. And then there's some pepper, but kind of not. That's one of the spices that I want to put into a mead is galangale, and I haven't ventured there yet.
But I will say it's a good spice. I like it. I want to use it more, but it's really hard to get here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I found it in a tea shop of all places.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know they use it for chai a lot, like in India, right?
I use black pepper in my chai, but long pepper, I'll have to get some and try that next batch I make.
It's expensive.
Yeah, you can get it on Amazon, but probably if you can find like a local Asian spices shop or something like that.
Not me. Not me.
Probably not you.
In the middle of rural Michigan.
Next time I'm in Detroit, maybe, but certainly not up here. No.
And that's why Amazon is killing everybody. Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh, I spend way more money than I ought to on Amazon because of that kind of thing.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I understand.
I have no comment to make, except that there's a really nice international market right down the road.
Good for you.
That is one of the things that I do miss about being near a good sized city is, with a nice cross section of, people that from different parts of the world that, you don't have that here. I mean, there was some great Asian. There was a Korea Mart, I think it was called, in Raleigh, and my girlfriend used to drag me there, and I didn't want to go because I knew what would happen when I got there.
Yeah, I mean that's the advantage of having a big population center, right? There's this mixing pot of cultures and cuisines and everything else. It's all available right there. That's the beauty of it. The drawback is there's tons of people.
There's too many people, way too
much.
I don't miss the masses of people or packs of cars.
But to support that kind of thing, you have to have a lot of people.
You do,
it's like 6 of 1, right?
For the rest of us, there's Amazon.
Right.
And there's also a lot of ethnic online market type things.
Yep.
True. You don't have to go to Amazon.
You don't have to. Like, for instance, most of my spices I buy from online spice companies that source their stuff, and they get really well sourced stuff. Frontier, and for those of you out there, if you're looking Frontier Co-op is amazing, great prices, good quality, and I buy because I make my own chai, so I buy like pound bags of cardamom.
Right.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, they're pretty good, actually. I agree.
Yeah, it's great, and their quality is high, and their prices are very reasonable.
One that's local to me here is called Penzies.
Oh, I love Penzies. Well, I don't go there anymore just because they don't have one up here. So
Okay. But yeah, I mean, they're pretty good, and
They are,
they
yeah.
serve a whole lot of areas, so that's another option for
But you
people
know, they've
looking.
cut down on their variety though. They used to have a lot of
Mm.
exotic stuff that they just don't have anymore, and probably because they weren't selling enough of it. And I get that, but
Right. And
you
then it
know,
sits there and it gets
right?
old
It
and
gets old, and
stale
yeah, and I understand that because how many people are going to walk in and go, "Do you have Gallon Gal?" You know, it's
right,
like,
right.
you know. So yeah, it's tough, but yeah, it is what it is. But I've discovered a lot of good online places. I probably ought to do a write up on that of like the places that I go from.
Yeah.
Places.
That's
Vicky,
another
when you
good
come
thought.
visit me, we have to hit the Asian Superstore.
Oh God, yes, that would be great.
Hell
I'll just
yeah.
leave room in the back of the Jeep to pack a giant bag of spices.
Right.
There's
Yeah,
actually
we have a
chain.
new Asian market here in the Twin Cities, Vicky, when you get here.
Oh, okay.
I want to take a drive down to look at that. It's pretty big.
You hear that, Tracy? We're going to the Asian market.
Heck yeah.
Tracy's my roomie, so
Yeah.
Partner
All
in
right. So
crime.
how about another Nathan question before we run out of time?
Before we let Rob go home, go back to his life. Yeah.
Right. His wife's like, wait, what time is it? It's like 1 a.m.
Yeah. How long did you say this? No, they're 2 hours behind us.
No, I'm in
so-
Arizona.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I was exaggerating
Yeah.
for license for storytelling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Nathan asks, what information have you discovered among blending of honey varietals or truths in recent years that has helped in your process towards attaining certain unique flavor profiles?
I haven't really looked for any information on blending different honeys or anything. I just do it.
Okay.
I taste several different honeys, and okay, this would go with that. This would go with that. Like I said, I do a whole lot of seat of your pants brewing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Take
Okay.
the flavor Bible approach to mead making.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
yeah. I've done
especially
that.
when fruits and spices, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
got
mean,
a
the
copy
flavor
of the
Bible
flavor-
doesn't
I've
really
got
have
the flavor
honey.
Bible. I
per
mean,
se-
if you don't
per
have
se,
it,
but-
get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, just so you know, there actually is a honey Bible. Marina Marchese wrote it, so she's the honey sommelier out of Italy, and I had her on the show several years ago. She was speaking. She spoke at the MeadCon, and so I was having all the MeadCon speakers come on, and yeah. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, the Honey Bible is available on Amazon, and that's on my list to get. I haven't got it yet, but it's like it's in my saved. You know?
It's
I'm-
there.
Yeah.
I'm ordering it right now.
Yeah.
Think I'm kidding?
Hell yeah.
But yeah, no, you should know. It's great because Marina is one of the premier like honey sommeliers in the world. So anything she writes on honey is well worth it. You know, I mean, she knows what she's talking about.
If I remember correctly, they started working on that like in the 80s.
Yeah.
'Cause they wanted to categorize all the honey varietals they had in Italy or something like that.
Mm-hmm. And then she expanded, you know, and it's just blows your mind, you know, like how many there are. I mean, Kevin, how many varietals you guys got in the library now? You must be coming up on a couple hundred at this point.
What's the author's name again?
Marina Marchese, Marchese.
There we go.
See,
Honey
Marina Marchese.
It's not called the Honey Bible. It's called Honey Connoisseur.
Yeah.
Selecting, tasting, and pairing honey with a guide to more than 30 varietals.
She actually teaches. She has honey tasting courses. You know, where you, because she's a honey sommelier. You know,
Sure.
so yeah.
And the EMMA has started a honey competition. Also,
Yes, I saw that.
which is
Yeah.
paired up with her, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Another, if people are looking for another good resource, the Flavor Matrix.
Oh yeah.
I think I got that one.
That is another good book that has more of a sort of chemistry oriented approach to things. well worth looking at. If you
We're
can
making
find a
Rob
copy.
spend money on books.
Well, I mean, find a copy in your local library if they have it, and check it out. And if you like it, buy it. But if you don't, that's fine.
Yeah, the art and science of pairing common ingredients to create extraordinary dishes.
Groovy.
Yeah. There's some good resources out there.
One of the Smithsonian Magazine's 10 best food books of the year.
Yeah, it's good. I've got a copy, and
I'll have to
I
get
use
that
it
one.
occasionally. I use the, Flavor Bible probably more often because it's more oriented around like the whole cooking thing, which is personally more my orientation. But yeah, there's some great stuff out there that you can use for doing recipe formulation, or at least coming up with ideas to concepts to try.
What do you a lot of it comes back to what do you like? What tastes send you, and when you think about amazing food, what are those flavors? What are they using? And even if it's something that's with meat in it or fish or something, or or fowl, still what spices are being used? What what other things are being brought to the dish that would go for a mead?
I get a lot of that at Flavor Bible.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I will often pull up one of my recipe books. It's like, oh, I'm really feeling like I want to work with, Indian spices, like we were talking about earlier. Yeah. And I've got cookbooks for India. So I'll get those and I'll just flip through them. Let my fingers do the walking, as they used to say. And, and just, let that kind of help guide me. So that's where, when people are looking to come up with recipes, think about that. What makes you say,
Yeah, that's my problem is I say a lot.
I know. Yeah. I'm a foodie, I mean, I can't help myself. It's hilarious.
I actually tried to do that maple bacon mead that one day. It did not work.
No.
It did not work out.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah, meat tends to have a bit of a problem sometimes.
Just a bit.
Yeah.
Well, that.
Oh, yeah.
But you might be able to fake it with smoking the oak or something.
Maybe. I could smoke my honey.
Yeah.
Or with the honey. Yeah, that works.
It's easy enough to smoke honey.
I got a smoker and I've got honey.
Well, when I went to visit, there was a meadery down in Royal Oak, and it was can't remember the name of it now. It's blanking. They've since closed, sadly. They made really good. They made mostly dry meads, but they were
Works or something.
No, it wasn't Mecca Works. It was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about, and I can't think of the name.
It's the name of it either.
I'm blanking on the name at the moment, but
totally.
It'll come to me 5 minutes after we sign off. You watch.
Senior moment.
Yeah, but they were smoking their honey, and what they were doing was basically running the smoke through aquarium.
Sap House.
Yeah.
Cellarman's
doing that.
Yeah, Sap House is doing that. Cellarman's, yeah, Rob is helping me out here.
Cellarman,
Cellarman's the name of the
thank
place.
you.
Yeah,
Cellarman.
yeah, because there's also a brewery named Cellarman. So, they were smoking their honey, and that they were basically just bubbling the honey with smoke.
Yep. Well, that's basically what I would do.
Yeah, they just tubed it, and and just it was hilarious because it's like these little smoke bubbles like working their way up through the honey.
Yep.
Yeah, put it in a bong.
Well, I mean, that's basically.
I just want to put a dish of honey in the smoker. When I get my stepdad to smoke my dried jalapenos into Chipotle.
There you go.
Put a dish of honey in there
that
too.
much. I mean, what?
Well, I know.
That's a really big bong.
Really?
It's the principle. It's the principle, not the mechanics.
Come on, who didn't take shop class to make bongs?
Well, I didn't because I'd have gotten thrown out of school, but
okay.
I took shop class, but yeah, if I tried that, I'd have gotten my butt beat both at school and at home, and then I would have been put on suspension. So.
Yeah,
small schools, you don't get away with that crap. But
I just go down the street and buy
great
one.
opportunity to try stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, there you go. Yeah, right. Well, this is cool. So, all y'all, if you don't have Rob's books yet, you should get them. There's a lot of really good stuff in there. It'll definitely give you ideas, and even you don't have to be a beginner. I mean, experienced people. There's a lot of really interesting things in there. You go, oh, wow, I didn't think of that. So definitely worth the look, and they're not very expensive, and you should have them in your library. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Y'all get out there and y'all get out there and buy books. Dang it.
I would.
People
nice
put all the effort into it. They might as well get a little tiny bit back.
Right. Support the man and buy his books. So yeah, but that's cool. I'm so glad that you called yesterday because I'm racking my brains going, dang, I need to find somebody for the, and then you called. I was like, it took me 5 minutes to figure out who he was because I was like brain dead apparently. But
Oh no.
Well,
That's what happens when
while.
you're breaking up tile and replacing walls and all that sort of
God,
stuff.
I'm so tired. And that bathroom is still gutted. I ran out of money and I still got to get the toilet and the shower unit. So yeah, I gotta wait until I have some more funds coming in, and that's not going to happen for a while. So
I was thinking about that after I hung up. It's like, man, you jumped on me awful quick to be on the show.
yes, I did, and that's why. Yeah, I've got like so many balls in the air that it's just like we have a show, and then like 6-7 days later, I'm like, crap. I realize I haven't done that. I usually try to get scheduled out, 2-3 months ahead, but it just hasn't. This whole year so far has been just slammed. So
yeah,
well,
I'm not the
life
easiest
gets in the
person
way,
to get a hold of either.
yeah,
I know you've been trying to get me back on for a while.
I know I have. Yes, I have. You've been on. You've been in the back of my mind going, I really got to call Rob. But yeah,
I'm glad we got you tonight. That was great.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, it's
Thanks
funny
for having me.
Vicky revealed that the last time you were on the show was the very first time I was on the show.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Was
the
it?
two of you were on together, and that was before
did
Kevin
not
was the
know.
host. Yeah. And he was Kevin was a brand new Meadmaker at that point.
Yeah, I
too.
was like a total newbie.
Yeah.
How about that?
Well, see, now you're not.
Yeah, it all comes around. It's a big circle.
Yeah.
One of us. One of us.
Yeah.
This is the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rabbit hole. Yep. How deep?
Enablers, that's what we are.
Yeah.
Right.
I used to tell people when they join Gotmead, it's like, welcome to your new your new hobby.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I call it the addiction because
Yeah. Your new obsession.
Welcome to the new money sink.
Yeah. Well, at least it's not a boat. It could be worse,
That's
right.
Yeah, at least
Or a
you
car.
can drink this one.
Yeah,
Or a race car.
Yeah, or yeah. It's not a Jaguar where it's going 100 miles an hour in the shop.
This is not nearly the worst one.
Mm-hmm.
It's insidious.
Well, this is fun. I'm glad you did have the time and you jumped on.
Me too.
It's been great. Thank you.
It has been.
It was fun. I enjoyed it, and I didn't have to get up in the middle of the night this time.
How about that? Yeah.
I'm still used to being 7 or 8 hours ahead of you guys.
I know. I think the first time we had you on, you were in Germany. So
nice to be in the same kind of time zones at least.
Yeah. Oh, it's always fun when I have the Europeans on because they have to decide if they're going to want to get up in the middle of the night. But yeah. So
well, I was glad to do it. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, and let me know, if you decide to head up to Valks.
I will do that.
Yeah,
if I don't make it this year, I'll definitely try to make it next year.
Well, next year, Kevin and I may be off at Kevin runs Valks, and he and I are both talking about going to Poland next year for the EMMA, which is like a week away. So,
well, it'll be more like 2 or 3 weeks.
Depending on, and we don't know what their schedule is going to be like next year either, but it'll be relatively close. But yeah, so
I keep wanting to go to the EMMA myself, but it just hasn't worked out yet.
Yeah, I got lucky and it worked out. Their first year I got to go, and I haven't been able to go since. So.
Well, I don't want to go without my wife because I've spent so many years away from her because of work, and this is her busiest time of the year. So it's like, If I'm going to Europe, I'm taking her with me.
I don't blame you.
Yeah,
So,
I'm doing a staggered Europe vacation, I guess you would call it. So she's not interested in going to the Mead comp, so I'll go by myself. But then
She gonna
she'll
fly over
come-
and join you,
yeah, she'll join me afterwards, and then we'll go somewhere. So
like
Yeah.
Prague or something? Yeah.
that's high on the list. Very
Oh yeah, yeah.
high on the
Bobby's
list.
been posting all these pictures from Prague, and I'm like,
yeah, Prague was pretty cool.
She's not into beer, but she loves the architecture. And
Oh, it's so
history,
beautiful,
So it's
yeah.
like a combo deal.
I'm okay with the beer, but I'm there for if I'm going to Prague, I'm there for the architecture and the mead shop.
Take a walking tour if you go to Prague.
Oh,
Right, for
I
sure.
did
yeah.
that with
sure.
a couple of buddies, and over 2 days, we did one day in Old Town and one day in New Town. Must have walked 20 miles.
Oh yeah.
And there was
Yeah.
that was just happened to be over Easter, so there was a big,
Oh,
carnival
nice.
thing going
Oh,
on.
that
and one of the
must be
walk classes,
gorgeous.
And it was awesome.
Yep.
Oh,
It was,
man.
Yeah,
three guys from Michigan sitting in Prague.
Mhm. But yeah, that's kind of the
we were all
plan.
working
Is
in the UK at the time.
comp first, and then we do a joint vacation, maybe Prague or maybe Portugal. Those are the two top of the list items. So we'll see.
There you
But-
go.
Yeah, fun things to do. But of course, Valkyrie's Horn will still happen next year with or without me.
Yeah. You
and
just
we got
might
some
not
good-
be there for it. Well, actually, I
Oh,
mean,
I'll
it's
be
3
there.
weeks away. You'll be there. Yeah.
I'll be there.
I don't know if
Um,
I will be or not. We'll see.
I'm not going to run it next year. But,
Yeah, that's
um,
it. Yeah.
But I'll be there.
The dogs
I
agree.
Jeez.
I believe that is the end of the show alarm.
Apparently, yeah, that is apparently that was the little one who alerts at every damn thing. So I don't know what his problem is, but he'll be sound asleep and all of a sudden he'll jump up and go "Rah, rah, 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 rah," and like for no reason at all. I don't
A
know.
leaf fell somewhere. Yeah.
Somewhere, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So, yeah, but I'll catch you up, Rob, and we'll
Yes, please.
we'll get some stuff going.
All right, awesome.
All right, man.
You guys have a great one.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank
You
you,
too.
everybody.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Hey,
joining
did
us.
you not?
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So lots of events coming up. February 26th, Cloud City Modern Mead in Leadville, Colorado has a mindfulness meetup. February 26th, Kupka's Bee Good Meadery in Auburn, Indiana has Meadmaker's Night. Of course, the EMMA starts Friday, and that's in Krakow, Poland. And that's the mead competition and their conference. And then March 1st, Doggone Bees Apiary and Meadery in Hanover, Pennsylvania has a mead making class. March 1st, Grimsby Hollow Meadery in Middleville, Michigan has Drink Mead, Learn Things Fantasy Drawing Workshop. March 1st, Four Brothers Mead, Festus, Missouri has 3 Pints Gone with live music. Have to open the door again. They stop barking and other whining outside the door. March 5th, Kingview Mead in Mount Lebanon, Pennsylvania has Trivia Night. And on the 6th, they have Cover 2 with live music. March 7th, Bumbling Fools Mead in Minneapolis has the Viking Mead Tour Party Bus. That's while
That's
we're there.
amazing.
That's while we're there. I just realized that. Oh, God, this is going to be... Are we judging in the 7th, Kevin?
Oh, of course we are.
Oh, dang. Can't do that then.
I mean, they're going to hit 3 meaderies, so one of which we're going to hit on Friday anyway. So
That's true. Yeah. March 8th, Starlight Mead, Pittsburgh, North Carolina, Mead and Food Pairing Experience. March 8th, Four Brothers Meadery, Festus, Missouri, has JJ with live music. March 9th, and I love the name of this place, The Parched Pug in Libertyville, Illinois, has a mead making class. March 9th, Wild Blossom Meadery and Winery in Chicago has cookies and mead pairing. That's fun. March 10th, Happy Butts Honey has... Yeah, Happy Butts, because bees, and butts.
Bee bum.
Bee bums, yeah. Happy Butts Honey in Watertown, South Dakota has a mead making workshop. March 12th, Green Mountain Mashers, Essex, Vermont. That's Kyle Ducharme's
Kyle's,
group is having their mead series, Part 3, Spiced Meads. They're walking through all the categories. March 13th, and that's an online thing, by the way, so you can go to that and watch it online. March 13th, Scale and Feather Meadery, Avondale, Arizona, has mead and a medium. So I see dead
Okay.
people with alcohol. So
What?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. Hey, why not? It's interesting. It's different. March 15th, Doggone Bees Apiary and Meadery in Hanover, Pennsylvania has a mead making class. And also on the 15th, Grimsby Hollow Meadery in Middleville, Michigan has Drink Mead, Learn Things Spirit Dragon Jar Workshop. I don't know what a Spirit Dragon Jar is, but I want to make one now. March 16th, Harvest Ridge Winery and I'm going to mangle this name, in Tufkenamon, Pennsylvania, has a mead and cheese pairing. I'm sure my Pennsylvania friends will get after me for mispronouncing that. March 22nd, the Great Minnesotan Mead Tour in St. Paul has 3 meaderies, tasting flights, charcuterie, and lunch. March 23rd, Maniacal Meadery in Ypsilanti Township, Michigan has the Michigan Mead Coalition March meeting. April 12th, the Great Minnesotan Mead Tour. I always want to say A at the end of that. In St. Paul has the 3 meaderies, tasting flights, charcuterie, and lunch. May 17th is the Sugar Belt Mead Festival in Crown Point, Indiana. Lots of meaderies. They'll be tipping their wares and live music, food trucks, and more. Trust me, if you love mead and you haven't been to this, you need to check it out.
Is that earlier than it was?
No, it's the same weekend, because it's the same bloody weekend as my black powder shooting competition. John's going, we got to go to nationals. I'm going, but Sugar Belt, and I can drive to that. It's only like 5 hours. It's not like a whole day. My black powder competition.
Don't stay where we stayed before.
No, this one time at the Baymont is never going to happen again.
Right. It's a one time and one time only.
One time only. Yep. We will find a different hotel. So anyway, if you want to get your event on Gotmead Live, let us know at gotmead@gotmead.com. We'll be happy to put it up for you. In the meantime, I mine Facebook and other places to find these things. So to let you guys know what's going on out there. And we'll be back in a couple of weeks. And as you heard earlier, Vicky's been really bad at scheduling people in. So we're working on that. And I'm going to try to get something scheduled out further and start posting them up on the Gotmead page so that people can see them.
So if you have ideas,
yes,
send them in.
Thank you. Yeah. So I've got to get, try to get.
If you want to volunteer to be one of our victims, interviewees, please let us know.
Yeah, and we're gonna be doing an episode on blending. So as it turns out, so if you're into that kind of thing, let us know. So I imagine there's probably one of the people in your area, Kevin, that's into that.
I imagine.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I'll actually have to check on that. I don't really know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, great show. This was a lot of fun.
This was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But we will see you guys in 2 weeks. And in the meantime, Kevin and I, and possibly Rob, will be at the Valkyrie's Horn, which is next Friday and Saturday. Is that right? Friday and Saturday?
Nope.
Yeah.
A week from.
A week from. Oh, yeah.
Well, it depends on what you mean by next.
Next.
1 week from this coming Friday.
1 week from this coming Friday. Thank you. A week from now, we will be in Minneapolis to do the Valkyrie's Horn.
Right. Live streaming awards, all sorts of fun stuff.
Absolutely. So it'll be great. And in the meantime, y'all be excellent to one another. We'll see you soon.
Night, everybody.
Very good.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
We're back.
We are. Hang on, I'm trying to end the stream.
Oh, okay. So I wonder who Rulo Hood is.
Oh, that's
the
Ro.
rule.
Oh, okay.
We're still on Twitch.
We are. I know.